Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Rivals Unmuted. My name is Shibby, joined by the usual crew, and you might be seeing somebody a little bit different in the bottom right corner. We have the #1 Girl Thor, Miss iDrawYuni. Yuni, introduce yourself. I gave you a little bit of introduction. What are you about? What do you do?
Thank you. Okay, so I basically play, I play tank, but my favorite tank is like Thor. Like Thor is my favorite tank. I try to like play the other tanks and they're fun, but Thor is just like my top guy. Like he's my top guy. He's the only champion tank I have. And like, I don't know, I just really like him. And I play him in pretty high elo now. Like I was struggling a bit, but now I'm in Celestial. Like I'm like usually in Celestial lobbies.
Yeah, so my first introduction to you was way back the video that Perzixo did, which I think was a beautiful video, where I believe you were at the time in Grandmaster, like GM1, you like, couldn't break past it, and he kind of took you and said, hey, okay, I have 11 Celestial players, will kind of throw you in the lobby and see if you're about it, right? Which is like always, which is funny, right? Because you always have gold players that be like, oh, I deserve Grandmaster, I deserve this. I kind of want to talk about that because I never really got to hear like your side of that kind of thing. How was that experience at the time when you were GM? Like, you know, like, oh, I got to get put up against Celestial players. And it wasn't just like random Celestial players. It was like Kimbaru. There, I think Perzixo was competing in it, or was he watching it? There was like a lot of heavy hitters. Yeah, he was watching. There was a lot of Celestial. Brooks, Jenny, like these are like eternity peak players. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure, and especially like because it says like it was the whole premise was that I'm like trying to get to Celestial, or I'm like, why can I get into Celestial? But a lot of these people were like, what above all players at some point, or like like eternity players. So then like me being like just like GM player, I was like, oh my god, like But I mean, surprisingly, I played really well in that though. Like I didn't get like any coaching or anything. Like I just like went in, and I just played how I usually play. I mean, looking back, I mean, obviously there's like, I could play Thor, better now, but I don't know. I think I just play better under pressure. Like I've been in like tournaments and stuff, since then, past that. Yeah. And I usually perform pretty well in them. I think I just play really good under pressure.
For sure, for sure. Like, I mean, I feel like we've been seeing like your rise like in prevalence, both obviously on Twitch. You've always had like a pretty solid following, but like at least on TikTok and like the creator tournaments, obviously like you're in that one. I feel like your name is getting thrown out there a lot more. How do you feel about like the branding of like the #1 female Thor? Like is that verifiable? Like I say it, I'm like like is that like I hope I don't step on it. Like is that like do you know any other like tank mains that play Thor that are like I guess women in that sense?
Well, I do, see the thing is like when I first like started popping up, people are like, oh, like I know like this one above all tank player, that's a girl. I know this one eternity one. But the thing that made me different was that they didn't play Thor. You know what I mean? Like they played like like
Emma.
Different type of tanks. Yeah.
Emma. Say it. Hey, you can say it. You can say it. If you're not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Egylou's gonna say it.
Like they just play like Gru. Like I guess like a more like more main tank, or like more of a stationary tank. I think since then there's been more girls though that've been playing tank. But I feel like when I was coming up, they were just like they weren't really like, or they weren't really making content stuff. But no, none of them played Thor though. That was definitely what made me different. Was that I played Thor for sure.
Kind of want to dive in then, since we're going to talk about it right now. How do you feel about that branding? Like being
oh my god, I love it.
Branding yourself. Is it like I feel like you get extra flame? Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know how it is. I know a couple like tank players that are girls and stuff like that are in higher elo. They get flamed and shit. Like is it worth it for you to like have that branding, but also like it just comes with the territory? Because obviously the space is not, it's no secret. Like Egylou, Nenn, we know the space isn't too kind to like girls. That's how it is.
A lot of cornballs out there, man. A lot of cornballs out there.
A lot of cornballs.
Yeah, I struggled with that for a little bit. I think that's like also why I wanted to get better. Like that's why I went to Perzixo. That's why I went to him, because I was like, well, I'm GM. I can't get out GM. Obviously, I'm doing something wrong. Like anytime there was like, I lost or like anything like that happened, I would always look at myself. I'm like, how can I get better? You know? So anytime I got flamed or, yelled at or something, I'm like, well, I could have probably played that better. And then I look back, look what I could do better. But, obviously you can't play good in every single game, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible. Like, you can't do that. But I mean, I got like roasted a little bit, but that like those people like that, like you don't listen to those people. Like they're gonna be sexist no matter what. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no point in like interacting with them,
That's fair.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, have I really gotten flamed? Like, oh my God, this is Uni? Like, oh my God, Uni, you suck. I never like had someone like literally call me by my name and like that knows me and said, you suck. Like, it's so weird. But the thing is that I don't really talk unless I have to talk.
That's
I
true.
think that's honestly the problem, right? Because like you're in a unique position because not only are you like on a tank role, right? Where kind of like communication is essential, but at the same time, you're also like a girl player, right? And like from my experience, there's like you get too you kind of can't escape it unless you don't talk, right? You either you're a woman, get back on support, get in the kitchen,
God,
whatever.
yes.
You do all that
gone
stuff,
that before.
right?
I have,
and then you
before.
get the thirsty dudes like, yo, you trying to what's this?
Yeah.
What's your IG? You got Snapchat? You got Snapchat?
Well, no,
and it's just like
people really be shooting their shot.
Win.
Dead ass people. Is that real? People shoot their shot on rivals like that? Uni?
Well, here's the thing though. It's like I got to say, like my situation's pretty unique. Okay, my situation's pretty unique because y'all know my rival's name is iDrawYuni.
Yeah.
So they kind of like, they don't really like hit on me because I draw Yuri. I don't draw like
regular.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you have an account like an alt account? iDrawYuni.
That's taken.
I'm wilding.
It's
Oh, is that
taken.
really taken?
And iDrawYuni too is also taken.
My bad, I took it.
All right, Nenn.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, like, here's the funny thing though, or like the weird thing. So before, because I had one TikTok or like one post I posted that really blew me up. I don't know if you remember, but it was the Ice Spice TikTok where this girl was like, I was like saying something. I didn't talk for the whole game and we were in overtime. And I'm like, I have to freaking talk. You know what I mean? Like I have to talk. And I was just like, Bucky, like, can you peel for the magic? And I'll like do this, right? And then the girl was like, oh my God, or like question mark. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I didn't expect a baddie on Thor.
Oh, I do remember that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it was just a compilation of me like, going crazy on Thor. And after that post, people just started recognizing me at that point. Like, like anytime I was like playing, they were like, oh my God, is that you? Is that you? So I never really had people that like roasted me that didn't know who I was. Like it happened like really quick,
Like the fame.
Like it's weird too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so weird because it was just like, because I've been streaming for like 2-3 years, so and you play games and like no one really recognized me and I was just like,
what did you stream before Rivals? What were you, like a Siege player?
Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
Dead by Daylight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have a few questions for you about that.
God.
Yeah.
Yo,
DBD.
Yo, I'm cool off that community. I'm real
And
cool
I made a TikTok and I made a TikTok about that.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was just like, because I have 3,000 hours on Dead by Daylight.
Did you play a lot of killer or were you like survive with
I was
friends?
Survivor. I was Survivor.
Do you still stream it?
No, but I do play it offline though.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to have an offline game. It's good to have an offline game.
Yeah, because you want something different. But yeah, it was just like everything just happened like super quick. And it's so weird too because after that TikTok, I started posting like, discussion posts or I'm just like, oh, like, people are wondering like why people are saying this and this is why. And I guess since I played Thor, like I don't know, like people just really like
people got a lot of love for Thor on TikTok. I feel like this might be a big conversation. Thor mains don't get any hate. I've never seen a Thor main get hate on TikTok once.
No, it's actually kind of crazy.
A Nutty, like all the Thor mains I know, Egylou. Well, Egylou get hates for different reasons, not because he plays Thor. But
Egylou, you get late. You get some hate.
I got one thing. I posted like I think it's season 5.5 or whatever season in Viz was like literally
like God
when what Nenn would say is the Antichrist, right? When Invis was like literally the best, and that was what like I was in the thick of it. I was doing Thor guys. I was streaming Thor, uploading content, everything about Thor. I came out with a video and I was like, bro, in this season, when I'm playing Thor, do not ask me to peel.
Ooh.
And you know, was it rage bait a little bit? Was I kind of frustrated? Yes, because I had I had an Invis and Loki backline, so like there's really no reason for me to peel. But that started like they're like, yo, you how you playing Thor and like you're not peeling, and I'm like, bro, it's not that I'm not gonna peel. It's just like, yo, that's not one of my main priorities anymore on Thor, you know. And like yeah, people did not like that video. I had a bunch of support players come out and be like, yo, this guy's the worst person of all time. I had Capone duet me. He was like disagreeing with me, so I was like, damn, like
Capone.
Yeah, Capone was out here disagree. I was like, damn, I might be in the wrong in this one, but nah, like they didn't understand what I was saying because I was saying like they have to help. This was season 5.5, so kind of early-ish in the game where like you know, strategists got to help each other out before I get to them. They can't just expect a free Thor peel whenever they please.
Yeah, I think that was before supports really, or like maybe like around the time where supports were getting buffed and stuff, but they still like feel like they needed help. Like, you know how supports players can be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you say that, anytime I say I peel, oh my god, people love that. Like, you know, like people love that I peel. They're like, we never see Thor players peel, and I'm just like, I mean, like.
Yeah, I never.
Yeah, I mean, like he's a good peel,
bro. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, you gotta be careful on TikTok because they take everything very literal, like very literal. Like they got really mad at me for the cloak and dagger thing, where I said bait out the cooldowns. Oh my god!
Oh my
yes.
You were getting barbecued on Twitter, TikTok. No, like straight up. But like you just gotta take that. You gotta just like you hold it and you move on because everybody usually forgets. That's kind of stuff.
And then they were like, I was looking at comments and they were like, I liked Uni, but then she posted that and I don't feel like her anymore. I'm just like, if you don't like me anymore because what I said, like goodbye. Like
please, I don't even want to. I don't even want to.
Because like my explanation on that was that okay, like maybe I could have described it a little better. I'm not gonna lie, I could have described it a little better. But the whole point was that like if you're diving them and you're making them use cooldowns they can't use on their team, you have like 5 other people on your team. Like they should be able to prioritize you baiting out cooldowns. But I kind of get what they're saying though, because you know Cloak and Dagger, like the rotation of it. But if you have like I'm a Thor player, usually when I dive, I'm diving with someone else, so it's like a lot easier. But
also, if you're forcing 4 rotations of cooldowns, she's not healing her team.
Like I said, they take it very literal.
Yeah, it's a more abstract concept of like actual value when it comes to slowing down support ultimate because now the Cloak and Dagger is using all of her cooldowns. She's using bubble for herself. She's using ice block for herself. She's fading herself. She's not getting ult charge that whole time. So that means your supports are going to have tempo advantage on their ultimates. It's a whole abstract concept. I wanted to make a video on it.
People don't think like that, though. People don't think
it's only
about...
Me. It's only me.
People don't think like that. And by the way, you said that Thor players don't get hate. But I remember vividly, there was a Thor propaganda that was trying to be awakened, and that's the only tank to survive. The only tank to survive like someone's propaganda saying that he's S tier. That was the only tank to survive that. Like,
because that's ridiculous. That like Thor has never even been like above B tier, bro. That guy's
no,
been
but
poop.
They saw people like me, Uni just frying the entire team, and they were like, "No, you can't let this happen." It's like people's brains explode whenever tanks can do more than just hold up a shield in the front line and just soak up damage. Like, there's other playstyle, there's other impacts. Like, I can hold my own on Thor. That's why I like playing Thor. Right now, I like playing Magneto because I can hold my own on Magneto. And also dish it out, you know what I'm saying, and hold space, you know, and block oncoming things, and have a overpowered ult, and
really good
take away value, and
keep going. The list goes. Listen,
peak survivability.
Listen, this is a perfect thing to talk about. I think Uni, I want to hear your thoughts, and we'll go around like 2 weeks into 9.5. Talk about like your experience with it, but also like for you, again, I feel like Thor is a bottom 3 tank in the game, if not the worst tank in the game right now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, when the patch notes came out, nothing really changed. You know, I mean, like they just like what kind of changed Penny, and then like nothing really like changed. So like the season really didn't like change for me like at all, because I don't play Penny, so it's like, you know.
Not
But
a big deal.
yeah, but like with Thor, like I said, I decided to play a little bit of Mag yesterday because I was just like, you know what, or I was like Mag thing. I just want to see like how it is because we all know that thing is a pain to kill. Like he's super hard to kill.
Yep.
Mag with his like team up. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna like, put the hammer down just for a little bit. And we're gonna see, how it is with these tanks. And wait. I lost my train of thought.
You putting your hammer down?
You putting the hammer down? You put Mag.
I
you're
put the
playing
hammer
Mag
down,
thing?
so my brain just said, wait, but I need the hammer back. Yes. But I think the point what I was trying to say is that like just like those tanks are just so much easier to play than Thor. Like Thor, I have to put so much effort in. And low key, when I play Thor, I put so much effort, and when I lose, I get way more angry because I put so much more effort in. You know what I mean? Like I had I think before my win streak yesterday, I had like another rank sesh where I was just doing so much stuff. I was jumping here, I was jumping there, I was like kidnapping, I was like awakening here, and like I take all the damage to my face. I'm like constantly, I wouldn't say constantly dying, but I'm dying a good amount. And then I play Mag, and I'm just in the front line, shooting from a distance. I have my bubbles, I have my shield. So like playing Thor this season, you have to like jump through hoops to get the results of like with Mag. Like, you're based on a lawn chair with Mag, and with Thor, you're like in a speeding car. Like it's just so much effort, So like playing Thor, I wouldn't say he's the lowest. I think it's between him and Rogue for worst tank of the season.
Oh yeah, Rogue is
honestly
poop too. Yeah, Rogue is poop.
She's
too.
bad. She's really bad.
Bottom 3 is definitely Thor, Rogue, Cap, right?
Oh yes, Cap. I was
pretty bad right now.
I was thinking about that. Remember when people were saying that Cap was like S tier and that he needed to get nerfed?
All right, wait,
And
guys,
like,
time
oh my
out. He
God,
lost
bro.
health. He lost health though. Like there are some changes that happened. There are
Insane propaganda push, bro. That was insane.
That was the craziest like propaganda on TikTok. I don't know about the other, platforms, but for TikTok, I was like, are we really saying to nerf Cap right now?
He had been good.
Like
bro, he was like pick, ban, and pro, and like finally it started. It's trickled down, and I've always argued this. The ranked, like TikTok, Twitter, whatever, right? The ranked, like aspect and the ranked players, they don't get the meta till like a patch, if not a patch and a half later. Like they don't understand why a hero is strong until like much later, and it's like pros and high elo players have already figured it out. Like people are playing Cap dive, Daredevil dive, Black Cat dive, like all synchronized together like a season before even it hit like ranked lobbies. It's just a time delay, and I think that's the big thing. Whereas like not everybody, I would say 90% of players aren't on social media. They're not paying attention to esports. They're not paying attention to high elo. 90% of the player base just logs on and plays the game, and they see like maybe 1 to 2 videos on Instagram or TikTok talking about the heroes OP. So that's like where that propaganda, that's a pretty good word for it. It's true, but it's delayed, right? It's like, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like someone,
Like some business days.
Yeah, it's like the slowpoke meme where it's like, guys, did you guys know Black Cat is OP? Like, oh, she's been fucking OP for a while. Like that kind of
oh
shit.
my God. That's also why I'm kind of disappointed in those patch notes for 9.5 or like, because it's just like, I feel like they just keep on making more characters stronger, but they're not like nerfing like the old meta. So you just have like all these characters that are like super strong. Like, like I just can't believe Black Cat hasn't gotten nerfed. Like I literally cannot believe it. Like she's literally such a menace.
Yeah, her
like the keyframes, like the going invisible constantly.
Oh, she's banned in
like
my life. I've never seen.
No,
I don't think I've played
she
against
is.
a Black Cat.
Was
I don't
it,
think I've played against a Black Cat since a while. Go, Nenn?
Which patch was it, or which season was it where so she was like dominating, and then there was a patch after, and then everybody was saying, oh, they broke her legs and that she's not
It's like
good anymore?
8.5. 8.5. I think they like the Dino. It was post, because in 7.5 it was White Fox and Black Cat. Then it was Dino Elsa, right? Or Elsa Dino? I can't remember now.
Oh, okay.
Who released?
And what did they buff her after? Did it miss like a buff or something? Or
they
has she
like
been the same?
restored some of her stuff, and like she's back.
Ugh.
I mean, they also just didn't nerf the most problematic stuff about her, right? Like you can still go perma invis. Yeah, they removed a dash, but like now you're your job as a diver was never like Black Cat getting kills was cool, right? Like obviously she can with the double dash, but even if she has a single dash and she can go invis, as long as she's like a constant threat, right? Like the aura of Black Cat behind you, because you don't know what's happening, because you can't track her, you can't kill her because of the iframes and the invis. The fact that she's constantly spamming invis, also the Spider-Man team up really helped her out. Like that increases her damage when they did the overhaul, so that kind of helped. A lot of different things. It's just kind of weird that she's like allowed
Here's the thing
back in.
with Black Cat. The Black Cat is broken only for one reason only, is because she can facilitate her own dive. Like you don't have to wait for anything. Like that's for me at least is like the main reason why Black Cat. She has like the little slow orb thing that you could just throw in support. Yeah, the fish, and you could just dive in, boop boop, and then you out invisible. Like you ask, supports. I saw this Clouded Rio video saying like supports were asking him for a peel. And he said, "What do you want me to do? You want me to type to them, please stop diving my supports? Because there's honestly nothing else you could do besides just because like you get dove. By the time you turn around, you don't even know where she's at. And
she's gone.
Where's Black Cat?
And her
she's
invis,
gone.
like you don't even track her. It's not like Psylocke where it's like a little butterfly or like
invis where like you have like the little blue dot.
It's just
she's
gone. Like
so she just dives without any of those weaknesses that certain dive characters should have, right? Like
she can play solo dive.
Negates all that.
Yeah, she can play solo dive, and God forbid you pair her up with like a Venom, like then your backline.
Oh God, her and someone else, like
yes,
anyone else is literally just so terrible.
They're frying your backline. It's not even.
Yeah, like you literally turn around and it's like they already killed a support by the time you turn around, and you already lost.
Yep.
Like it's literally like ridiculous. So it's just like I'm just saying, like it's just like why did she not get nerfed? I literally made a TikTok back when Dino first came out. And I was just saying, like, because I was playing with Silly Spark. He plays Black Cat, and he plays like Magic and Blade and stuff. But he likes to play Black Cat, for his YouTube videos, so he can get like some content. And Black Cat's just banned every game. So I'm just like, if she's banned every game, why is she not nerfed? Like literally, like why is she not nerfed?
She's one of those characters where like she's either like really broke. You could either have her be really broken or really underpowered. Because like if they do nerf her, then like what's stopping me? What's to say that Black Cat, like let's say they nerf her like solo dive potential, right? What makes her now better than someone like a Daredevil? We could see through walls, give intel, or who else? I don't even know who else is good at diving right now.
No,
a Black Panther where you could just
it's DD. It's DD Black Cat, and the counter to Black Cat is DD. That's the only reason you're picking her, because DD can see through the invis. You know what the DD's job is? The DD's job is to meat munch the Black Cat the whole game. And like it's like I'm not gonna do anything, but I'm gonna make sure you're not doing anything, and like that's a net benefit. That's horrible hero design, by the way. If the
that sounds that sounds like a bad hero design.
Horrible hero. If the only counter is just make sure that your hero invalidates the other hero completely. I don't know. Nenn, has your lobbies been any different? I know you play on console, so it's like you play high-low consoles. It's a little bit different. I feel like melee heroes get a lot more value. I don't know. I feel like they just get so much more, like Magic, Spider-Man, DPs, Black Cat, DD. Like, dude, console melee is they're freaks, bro. They're so good.
A lot of people like to punch in console, but mostly because people just, I mean, I guess this is a control team. People can't land a shot if their life depends on it, so they obviously go melee. It's been so initially. What was it last week when I was saying, "Oh, I'm enjoying this season." I did a few games until then, and my opinion has slightly changed, right? I'm still enjoying season 9.5 overall. I think it's just more, it's more of what we got in season 9, or pretty much more of what we got in season 9, or just stagnant, right? Like nothing's really changed in 9.5 than any of the other mid-seasons before. So I don't know what is going on, but I feel like people have gotten dumber. like I feel like specifically the way people handle certain situations, like it's changed. And I don't know if it's because the team up stuff or because, there's certain team ups like Cloak and Daggers who now gives them like another out when she just turns into like, an icicle and just stands there T-posing. Like I've seen multiple times, and not to turn this into a strategist rant, where instead of patty caking with my other support when they're being dove on by, whoever, the Cloak and Dagger just decides to save herself and use that team up ability while she leaves the other support to just rot out in the sun.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm tired of that shit happening. I'm dead holding my shield for you. I've already bubbled you. All you need to do is just heal me. Heal me. I'm playing the most broken character in the game, Mag. I'm healing. I'm holding a bubble. I bubbled you and I'm holding the shield, protecting myself. Just heal me. Throw me some heals. No, she want to go frozen. While my health bar takes away. Like, come on, son.
Yeah, no, it's regressing the Cloak and Dagger play. No, you know what? In fact, no, I'm gonna hold back. I think there's a lot.
No. Keep going because you're right.
Say it.
There was a little bit of a skill gap. Not much. It wasn't much, but before that team up, there was a little bit of a skill gap of like, okay, now I gotta really choose whether to fade this ultimate, stack it, hide behind my shield. Now it's just like, okay, well, I got like 3 escape moves. I got this bubble that's on a 6-second cooldown. I've got the freeze and I've got the fade, and the light veil or the dark veil, I can just throw it as many times as I want now. It doesn't matter. Either way, I got both charges, so I could just double veil. They need to revert all those changes back and make Cloak and Dagger at least if you gonna keep all those changes, make it like Luna Snow, right, where you gotta aim your light daggers. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the fact that they gave all that ability to an auto aim character already, like you know what I mean? Like you don't have to aim with her.
You guys are speaking some salacious things.
It's true.
They're not gonna be happy with you guys.
Wanda is more skillful than Cloak and Dagger because at least when you throw in the daggers, you gotta still aim them. You know, you hold in the left click the entire time, but there's some aim to the character. Wanda's so dog shit though. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah. I mean, I think if they change Cloak to a non-auto aim hero, I mean, I think Rivals loses like a fucking 10th of its player base. Like fucking that, bro. Like instantly.
Yeah, that's the trade-off between like Cloak and someone like Wanda, who Wanda is just terrible, right? And I mean, she doesn't need to aim. She's easy to play, but she's terrible. Cloak and Dagger is, she's very easy to play and she's very good.
Pretty good.
So
pretty good.
She doesn't have that that like sacrifice of like ease of use with value, right? Compared to someone like Wanda. So
I will say this.
Go ahead.
I don't want to live in a world where the best characters are always just the mega high execution ones. Because I think the other side of that coin is, oh, now everybody has to like play high mechanically demanding heroes, blah 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 blah. Like there should be a balance. There should be a balance, right? Like you have the Luna. The Luna rewards you with like nothing is as detrimental as Snowball, right? Like you can stop straight up ultimates with Snowball. Sure, you can fade stuff, but you're not fading a Spider-Man ultimate because it's going to go on longer than your fade. You can fade a Doctor Strange ultimate. You can fade some stuff, but like Snowball, the mechanical execution to reward is very high. Whereas like, yeah, you guys are right. It is easy to heal on Cloak, but at the same time, I don't know anybody that like legitimately can't deal with Cloak. I kind of view it as a skill issue at times where it's like, you're forcing out all these cooldowns. Like there is that line where you need those introductory easy characters to be good. Now, it's hell when it's Cloak, Rocket, Jeff are the 3 best supports because those are all like, super. Like there was a meta where it was like Rocket, Jeff were like hard meta, and it's like, well, you can't really interact with them because Rocket's shooting from a million miles away, Jeff is shooting from a million miles away. I think there is that right balance, and I think we are trying to overcorrect on the side of like, oh, Cloak shouldn't be meta, or like X DPS shouldn't be meta, this tank shouldn't be meta because they're like easy to play. A lot of people are complaining about Thing. I think he rightfully so to an extent. But like, when has Thing really been like hard meta? Like there should be instances and seasons where certain easier characters get time in the spotlight, and then you reel it back and you put more mechanically demanding or high execution characters. Things like Cap Venom, Thor, for example, right? To an extent, Emma, if you really want to go that route. Strange, right? The ebb and flow. I feel like as from the Rivals community standpoint, we always swing like one way or the other. Oh, easy characters need to be good because player base, but hard characters need to be good because they are more rewarding, blah, blah, blah. Like there is a balance. There is a balance.
Here's where I think here's where I disagree, right? Yes, you are right. There needs to be a balance, right? Of like there needs to be some easy characters. But the problem is when you look at like if you have to like plot them on a graph of ease of use to value, someone like Thing should not be that good right now. When you press one button right here, slam down, you press that button, you're immobile for 5 seconds, and all you did was press one button, Shibby. Like if it was like a combination of buttons, or like you had to like land the slam on the actual character for them to be immobilized. No, it's a big ass fucking range like this, and now you're immobile for 5 seconds. You can't use any things all the while where you're just right. You're just straight giving haymakers, right? And that's only 2 buttons you've pressed so far. And then the third button on that character is just to jump to somebody. So there's 3 buttons you can shut down an entire playstyle. You just shut down with 3 buttons. I can't get behind that, honestly. And on top of that, when you do press your shift to run, right? You can't be moved, you can't be grabbed, nothing can happen to you. You're gaining health when you do that. I'm like, come on, man. Like all of that, and you gotta just press a couple of buttons here and there. I can't agree with that. That can be good for the game. It's easy to play, but the ease of use to value ratio needs to be like real back. Like he needs to do like half damage on his haymaker.
Simple character. But if you do that, then like nobody's gonna play it. Like he's not gonna be able to contend, right? Like there has to be that balance of like
design your game better. Bring another character that's more skilled. You know what I'm saying?
Like what was life before Thing? Dive fucked us. Dive was fucking our shit up. Cap Venom Psylocke. Cap Venom Psylocke. All right, whatever, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You were saying something.
I was saying that I don't know. Like this game is like such a weird mixture because it is like kind of like a competitive game, but there are like a lot of casual players. Like they like to like have both groups like involved. So I mean like. I don't really mind Thing being as strong as he is. Like I know it's like annoying, but I mean like I'm sure like the meta will change eventually, and he'll be back how he used to be. Where you like you would get those things and they would just get fried. But, it's just nice for them to have their little like they would just die. Like literally, I did not want to play Thing because I was like every time I see a Thing, they get completely fried, and I was just like I didn't understand the value in him because I'm just like I just see these people like inting and dying. So it's like, like Thing players have been through it, okay? Like they've had it rough. So I think it's okay for them to have like, they can have some fun. And I mean, he is a pain to kill. Like he is. But
you should be ashamed to call yourself a Thing main. You know that?
I got a Lord Thing. Hey, hop off. I got a Lord
Thing a little bit.
You should be ashamed.
Thing mains I love Thing mains. I love like their videos are so funny. Like those videos on TikToks. Like I love when they impersonate Thing.
That one guy. I forgot the real Thing or the only Thing. Yeah, he's funny as hell.
Yeah. So I let the Thing players have their moment. You know what I mean? Like let them have their season. They've been struggling. They gotta
get flushed out. They gotta get flushed out next season, bro. Like they're just gonna he's gonna get his survivability nerfed or his HP gain nerfed or some shit, and he's gonna go back to being like a serial interpick. Like I'll say this. It's up to Rivals to like control the ebb and flow of metas, and like if Thing is meta for like another season, I'm pretty sure like half the game is gonna riot. But he's gonna get nerfed. Emma's probably gonna get slotted back in. Strange is dog shit. He's probably gonna get slotted back in. They've been slowly creeping Strange. I think it's just like an ebb and flow, and I feel like people just forget that like metas are cyclical. The game is cyclical. When they make changes, there was a season where Brawl was really good. People didn't like it because it was Dino Brawl, which I agree. Dino Brawl is kind of fucking disgusting. But there was points where Dive was meta. Obviously, people are going to say, like, well, Poke has been predominantly the meta, or Poke has always been good. Unfortunately, guys, hit scan characters fundamentally are always going to be good in hero shooters. You almost always will need a hit scan because of how versatile those kinds of heroes are. It doesn't matter what meta you're in. You can play Dive. You know what the pairing was? Daredevil plus Phoenix. You can play Brawl. You know what the pairing was? Phoenix Hela or Cyclops or, in this case, Black Widow. Like, there's always going to be a best-in-slot hit scan, but you can't extrapolate and say that, Poke is back to being meta. It's just a Poke hero. It's just a hit scan hero.
I'm so glad you said that because in a lot of my games, I'm like on my hands and knees. There'll be like an Iron Fist and like a Black Panther or something. I'm like, yo, can we get somebody with a gun? Anybody that can shoot
characters are needed.
Like anything that can shoot from a distance. I'll break it down like that because sometimes, maybe they don't know what a hit scan is. Yes, I'm in Celestial GM. You should know what a hit scan is, but maybe they don't know. So I gotta break it down. Can I get somebody that could shoot somebody from that far away? Because at the end
before
of the
they get
day,
close to us. Like,
exactly.
that'd be nice. Like,
they're over here running Phoenix, Hela, Punisher, Bucky. They're and my Iron Fist.
No, literally.
And trying to get close to me, and then the whole time I'm like, can we get someone with a Hela ults? We all stare at it. We all stare at the Hela because we all have
like
fists.
literally.
Like, goddamn, bro, play something with a gun. It's not that hard. Like, I'll play Bucky. I'll hop on Punisher. I'll do that. I'll play Cyclops. I could do that. Someone hop on Tank. Because like the importance of a hit scan character in a game, only people who aren't good at the game hate hit scan. And that's what it is. You know, if you hate hit scan and you can't play against hit scan, you are just ass. That's it. That's at the end of the day. You just have to out click the other guy and you win. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, I think people like, you know, they're just so comfortable with like melee and stuff, so they don't really like to like, you know, make themselves uncomfortable. They're just like, I'm just gonna play my character and like, you know, I'm just gonna play around it, when they could easily just like, I don't know, aim train or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people just don't want to feel uncomfortable, so they just play like, you know, their you know, type of heroes and stuff. I literally had a game like that yesterday where I had a magic and a DD, and they had poke and a thing. And I'm like, yo,
what's
like,
the
like
sense?
and
Super
I'm
hell.
going
You're in
crazy.
super hell.
Yeah, and I'm going crazy on Mag. Like, I'm going crazy on Mag, and I'm like, say, like, hey, can we switch? Can we switch? This guy has a Lord Punisher.
But
But then he only plays him for 1 life, and then he switched back to DD. I'm just like, and we obviously ended up losing, but I don't know, for some reason, like, they just don't, like, people just don't want to switch. And I feel like that's been kind of a theme for this season, or like every season, really. Like, people just don't want to switch.
People
like,
are really
like,
stubborn. People are really stubborn.
They are.
9.5.
They are.
I feel
really,
like I've seen
really
like,
stubborn.
Yesterday I was playing. I just like asked my team, like, "Do you guys want to win?" Like, I was like dead ass. I was like, because I could go to sleep right now. I could just leave. I was on stream. I was tilted as fuck because my Psylocke and Spider-Man was going like 0-5. I was like, "Do you guys want to win?
Oh my god!
Like, do we want to win the game? Like, seriously? Because like, yeah, you get the idea of like, people want to win, but there are a lot of people in this game that want to win on their hero. They don't want to win.
True.
And like, they don't want to try to adapt and stuff. I don't know. Nenn, I feel like it's no different on console, right?
It's pretty much the same. In fact, honestly, I think. Well, no, never mind. No, because I've seen your stream, Shibby. I've seen, what do you call it? Evil Marvel Rivals.
Evil Marvel Rivals.
I've seen it.
Bro.
Yeah, you are trapped in hell when you play this game. But much to touch back on the point of when people talk about dive or not dive, poke, like, oh, but poke meta, this and that. I think people need to understand, and much like to what you were saying, how like hit scan characters will fundamentally just be good, right? Just point and click. People need to understand that like poke is like kind of the neutrality in a hero shooter, right? Like just in general, any shooter, because when dive isn't meta, then poke is like great. When brawl isn't meta, then it's poke. You know what I mean? When either dive or brawl aren't a meta, then it's always just usually going back down to poke, right? So it's not. I don't think it's like, oh my god, poke characters are so strong, this and that. It's just, I mean, that's just kind of how the game is. Now, to the case of people that don't know how to play against poke, right? Like hit scan heroes. Yes, it is a skill issue, and I think a lot of people need to hear this. But the map that we all play in, you know the wall that's like right there. Sometimes when you're capturing point, sometimes when you see like somebody trying to snipe you, maybe it's smart for you to stand behind that wall and take cover. I feel like people don't take cover a lot in this game. They just kind of go willy-nilly. And I think, to me, that's just kind of the reason why a lot of people don't vibe with poke, because they don't know how to play cover.
They have to play differently. Like, they have to play differently, and they don't understand, like, hey, I need to like adapt, like they just don't think about it. They just like keep on dying, and they're like, why am I dying? It must be my support's fault.
The easiest way to see this,
it's even easier because it's third person. You can fucking see when the other person is looking at you.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? The easiest way to get yourself back in check, and I know this is a Marvel Rivals podcast, but the easiest way to get yourself in check is go play 10 games of Overwatch with your Marvel Rivals rate.
God.
I couldn't believe when I went back I went back to Overwatch after playing Marvel Rivals for a year straight. I went back to Overwatch for fun, right? I'm sitting there. I'm playing Diva. I'm a tank player, so I play Diva. I play Junker Queen, and I'm sitting there, and I'm in the lane, and I'm like, yo, can I get a heal? I'm playing with my boys. I'm like, hey, can I get a heal? Like, bro, this isn't Marvel Rivals. It's gonna take a while. And I'm sitting there behind the wall and the cover. I'm like, damn, this shit gonna take 5 to 6 business days to get here. Because it's honestly, if you don't play cover and if your positioning in Overwatch isn't elite, you're just gonna get melted, and there's nothing you can do about it except just adapt and play better. In Rivals, you got Cloak and Dagger. You've got Luna Snow clapping straight like burst heals. You've got Rocket. You've got who else? You've got White Fox jumping to you. You've got all these characters that can literally just pump you up with heals from like you go from like 5 health to 600 health in a span of like half a millisecond, and like you get bailed out a lot, even in high elo. Like even in high elo, you get bailed. Like people get bailed out just because the burst healing. Everybody has a burst heal. Overwatch, that's quite the opposite. Only person that has a burst heal is like Anna with the grenade, and the Suzu from Kiriko when she TPs to you and throws it down. Right, like that's the only 2 characters that come to mind that have like instant like I'm gonna bail you out of this situation.
Yeah. I played Overwatch a few months ago, and I support ulted, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine now. No.
You died? You died like a Genji blade? You died
yeah, I like died. And I'm just like, I'm like, to me, I'm just like, people are comparing like Overwatch to Marvel Rivals, but it's just like Overwatch, like literally Marvel Rivals on steroids. Like literally once a portal and 2 DPS ult, like she has a chance to live. Like, you know? Like, it's just crazy, like, how different those games are. Like, literally, Marvel Rivals is so forgiving. It's so forgiving. It's insane.
I think it teaches bad habits, too. I mean, we talked about this before. Of like, like people not using cover, not, like, understanding support ult traits, or, like, kiting. Like, people don't kite ults until you get, like,
oh, my God, they don't.
People
they
don't
never
kite. People don't kite. Like, a Punisher ult, oh, we got to cloak it. It's like, dude, you Punisher ult from, like, half a mile away. We could literally just run around the corner. We're chill. Right? Or like a cloak ultimate, stuff like that. Those kind of concepts, and I don't understand how like the player base hasn't figured that out, because like I'm like a positive, like a third of Marvel Rivals community is people that have played Overwatch. Now, granted, it might not be like all the high ranking Overwatch people. It could be people that were stuck in like bronze to, I don't know, diamond Overwatch players, right? So, like, even those concepts are harder for them to grasp. So they just kind of went to Rivals, and they're like, oh, I don't have to learn what kiting is. I don't have to learn what, like, support ult timing or tempo is. Like, when I say those words, people have no clue what the fuck I'm talking about. Where it's like, enemy team pops support ultimate, and if we don't respond offensively the next fight, that guy is now building ult, and by the next time you pop this ultimate, he's going to be at 40, and, like, I think it's, like, future planning. Like, people don't think ahead.
Yes.
They don't like think 3 fights ahead, and it's like, and then I get flamed for talking. It's like, oh, shut the fuck up. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, my bad. I'm trying to help us win the next 3 fights. I don't know.
Said, like, that's like, so, you word it so well. Like, they don't think about the future. They think about the now. You know what I mean?
No.
And it's just like, if we die here, you know, let's say they punish our ult, we die here. It's okay because we still have our cloak ult and we can use it aggressively. Like, you know what? Like, you didn't have to waste it. Like, you know, they just don't think ahead. Yeah, like, they just don't think about, like, the other factors. Like I said, like, with the Cloak and Dagger video I made, I'm saying, oh, bait out the cooldowns. They're over here solo diving on Spidey. I'm like, bro, you're solo diving on Spidey. Like, did you not? Like I said, I could have worded it better, but it's a team game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just don't, they only think about themselves. They literally only think about themselves.
I mean, yeah, that's
like literally
like a lot of hero shooters. I mean, that's from any game, right? Like, you go to art like MOBAs, League of Legends, and stuff like that. A lot of people care about their own game.
Yes.
I will say there has been a topic. I don't know if you guys have experienced this or not yet. And like low key, I want to get, since we have console and like PC players here, I want an opinion on this. Right now, given the current state of Rivals, what is worse to play on? PC with the configs and the optimization issues, or console with like the cheating, the Zim, the Titan? So for people that don't know what Zim and Titan are, it's essentially like an undetectable, and Nenn can kind of go into it a little bit more. It's like an undetectable thing you can put like with your controller that effectively gives you like what? Things like no recoil, like it makes it tracking a lot easier. It gives like better aim assist. I'm going to be honest. I think even despite the console stuff, I'd rather play on PC with like the config bullshit that's happening where people are dropping config files into their games and canceling games and the optimization issues. But I feel like I'm in a bit of a privileged position. Maybe most of us are on PC side because we all have PCs that can run the game and stream for the most part. So, Nenn, I want to talk to you first. Would you, given what's happening on PC, you just made a video on it too, do you still prefer console? I feel like you would run into Zims and Titans all the time, though.
Funny enough, before I made a video about this I recorded that video a few days before I actually uploaded it, and I really haven't run into any, Titan users or Zimmers or whatever. But funny enough, just yesterday, I actually did run into, I don't want to say, that they were confirmed using it, but their gameplay looked highly suspicious. So I think when it comes to the discussion of like what's the worst platform to play on, be it console or PC or which one's better, I don't know. I feel like I still think console is a better platform to play on because I feel like it isn't the whole Titan stuff from what I've seen and what I've experienced. I feel like there's a difference in the fundamentals of players between console and PC. I'm not saying like one's worse or the other or anything like that. But I feel like with how they handle situations, especially situations like that, is different on console. From what I've seen in my games, compared to like what I've seen in like other content creators who are on PC and whatnot, I feel like a lot more people in console in low ranks. And I'm not this isn't trying to sound like a hot take or start anything, but I feel like they know how to use cover a little bit more in the earlier ranks on console than I've noticed on PC, because on console, a lot of melee heroes are dominant, right? So it's like, I feel like when you play certain melee characters, you need to kind of know how to use cover. Well, granted, that's a thing that everybody needs to do, but when you play certain melee characters, you want to play magic or whatever, you always want to take cover when you're not engaging against anybody, right? Before you dive into somebody. There was a game where somebody on Hella, of all people, was clearly, probably cheating. And no, granted, I was playing Thing, but she didn't do anything. She didn't do much, right? Like I was playing Thing, and then I had a mag with me. We dealt with it accordingly, is the best way I can put it. He'd just bubble me, right?
Yeah.
And I would just, go over and show her the Yancey Street special, and that's pretty much it. However, granted, I don't know how effective Titan is compared to like somebody using like a weird like aimbot cheat on PC. Because correct me if I'm wrong. On PC, when you're on controllers, is there aim assist or is it just completely gone?
I don't think you get. Ooh, do you get aim assist on if you play controller on PC? You do.
Yeah, I
you
think you
do.
do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so on console, you could be using like some sort of aimbot Titan thing, but they're still caked in aim assist, right?
Yes.
So because of that, it's a little harder. It's still very easy to land like headshots and stuff like that, but it's a little harder because the aim assist doesn't it just brings you to the general vicinity of the character, right? It doesn't
it's like soft tracking, right?
Soft tracking. So they still kind of have to aim a little bit, even when they're using aimbot with Titan and stuff like that, just a little bit. But for that reason, right, compared to the cheaters I've seen on PC, I would say PC has it worse. Especially because there's a lot more wild things that happen on PC than console has it, because console's just the aim stuff, the Titan stuff, and then zimming. I feel like the game does a decent enough job at detecting whether somebody's
like
deciding to use mouse and keyboard. And just kind of out. But I don't know. That's just from my point of view as a console. I don't know.
Egylou, what do you guys think? Are you making the switch to console?
Absolutely not. But I do think console right now is a little bit better to play on, just because that bullshit where you load up into a game, people you lose, you're blowing a team out, and then the game gets canceled. I think that's absolutely terrible. On top of that, optimization issues. And I don't want to harp on optimization issues. I feel like we grow them every single time on that, every podcast. But
we got to. Man. We got
personally,
to,
I don't.
It's bad.
I don't only time I notice it is literally when I'm playing on stream and Strange Portal's open, Deadpool's going off, and I'm literally watching my frames go from like 200 to like 48, right? Like that's the only time I notice. Other than that, I'm just locked in on the game. I don't know. I don't really notice any dips in performance. But yeah, that the shit that is egregious though is that I'm seeing dudes like they look like they have like a green screen on or something like that. I don't know what that is.
I stitched that. I was like,
Dude,
what the fuck is this?
I don't know what it is, but it's cheating. Like I don't have to understand to know that it's cheating. That is ridiculous.
They're bright green. They're bright green.
I don't know what that is, but I just know that it should be. They should be gone off the game. They have to be gone off the game. I don't have to understand to know something feels wrong or looks wrong.
Well, it's definitely an advantage. You know what I mean? Like, like even like the map where there's fog, they just like don't see the fog, like see you, like, just like stuff like that. Like they definitely have advantage. But honestly, I haven't really got anyone. I mean, me personally, like I don't know about you guys, but I haven't really got anyone do the config glitch on me.
Shit happened to me 4 times 2 days ago, bro.
4 times?
Oh
in 1 day?
Yeah, no.
In one day. Like we're blowing a team out. Okay, I will say I benefited from 2 of them because my team was getting their fucking back blown out. But
oh my god.
Regardless, I like that shit's annoying, bro. Like that shit is just genuinely annoying. I pray you don't get it, Uni. I think the worst feeling is when you're about to win. Some people are cynical with it. They're gonna wait until like, you're almost ready to win, and then they drop it, and the game gets canceled. Like it's kind of crazy, bro. It's kind of crazy. No, that config shit. I can tell when like people are configuring because I'll throw my beacon in fog, and it will get like instantly sniped. I'm like, oh, this guy's like using no fog or something like that. Like those kind of configs, even the ones that make the game look like Play-Doh. I guess is a broader conversation to kind of have. I feel like this game's PC player base won't grow past beyond what it is now until they like really bunker down on optimization. Because games like CS and even like we talk about Overwatch, we clown on it. Overwatch has that Blizzard polish. Like it runs to this day. I could probably play Overwatch on like a 10-year-old PC and I'd still be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not opposed to doing stuff within the constraints of the game. For example, back in my Valorant days, a main thing is if all of your settings are high on Valorant, it would add all this extra shit of like, I don't know if you guys know the character Viper. She was like meta for a long time with the green wall. It was like a green like gas wall, right? And it would emit like this like cool looking gas, right? But like I'm a competitive player, so like that's actually getting in the way of like certain things. So like I just turned off all my settings, all the extra detail on the map to distract you. I'll turn that off. Even though like Valorant's a very well optimized games. I mean, keep in mind it has like no like actual like strain on it like Marvel Rivals where like it has to like load certain things and different things or whatever.
Assets and stuff.
But so it runs game fine on max settings, but like I don't mind doing things within the game to make the game feel more competitive or give you an extra advantage over someone that doesn't know or doesn't care to do it. But whenever you're going outside the game, putting in files and you have like green characters and you take away the smoke and you're doing this and your frames are like shooting up because you have nothing loaded on your screen. I'm like, all right, like what's going on? Like you can't you that ass that you can't play the game straight up? Like like that's really what it comes down to is like you're insecure that you can't play the game straight up, so you gotta find advantages. You're not good at the game.
What do you counter argument? What do you have to say to people that can't run the game?
Get your bread up. Like what's
that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
You said if you're not at my level, if you don't make my kind of money, get the fuck up. But Marvel Rivals is for all. Anybody can be a Marvel, right? Say sorry.
Yeah, go boot up your Xbox One. Go boot up your PS4, bro. It runs perfectly fine on that. If you want to play the game well optimized, go boot up a console.
I did want to ask, how is, because I never checked it, but how is Marvel Rivals' like accessibility features, right? Like people that are like impaired, from hearing.
I know people use like the colorblind stuff. Oh, in terms of hearing, I know a lot of players just in general have the where it tells you the voice line as it's happening, like the screen, it'll show the text. Like a lot of people just have it normally, like even if they're not.
Yeah, the subtitles.
Yeah, the subtitles that
Yeah.
like has the ultimate. So I think their accessibility settings are actually pretty good. A lot of people use. I know a good amount of people that use like the different colors, right? Where like it makes the enemy outline brighter because it's like you might have like not what am I colorblind if you're colorblind or whatever, right? Like you can use the different settings. I would say the accessibility features are pretty solid, like most normal games, but I don't know. I don't know.
I only asked because the one short that you posted where it shows again like they're on a green screen. It reminded me much of a setting that was in a different game that it was part of its accessibility fee. I'm not, obviously a medical professional. I don't know the term for it, but it was for a setting for somebody with a specific visual impairment. So sometimes I'm thinking like, does Rivals have that baked in, or maybe somebody had a config because of that? I don't know. I just, just wanted to
even
bring
if
that up.
people are configuring due to disabilities, that's like a small percentage of the people that I know are configuring
definitely,
for advantage.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a worthy discussion on like, hey, I want to play Marvel Rivals, but unfortunately I have like a fucking 2070 or like a 1050 graphics card. Like how come I can't play it? Like I need configs to play this game. I don't think we should be locking people out of the game because their computer can't handle it. And to Egylou's kind of blunt point, you don't got the bread. Like, I get it. There's got to be some sort of line. Like, it's tough. It's tough because if Marvel Rivals flat out bans configs, which they kind of are doing or they're trying to do, I think you kill a lot of your player base. It happened to a lot of the competitive scene, like a lot of Brazilian. This is like a different foil. A lot of like South American and Brazilian professional players couldn't play Marvel Rivals because, unfortunately, different countries have different currencies and like, different economies and stuff like that. Like,
shout out.
lot of.
I just wanted to say, because shout outs to all the people that are in that region, right? Just in the general, the South American area in general, because I made a PS4 a PS4 Marvel Rivals video way back when, calling it like, oh my god, this port was such a waste of time and resources, and I was educated by quite a few people in that area that were saying like, yeah, it's bad, but it's like, we hear is like a PS5 is like, way out of my
like $3,000
income for like the next few months. Yeah, so it's like this is what we have. So I was like, oh, this and that, and there's a lot of, I forgot what tournament we saw it in, but there was a Rivals tournament where Team Brazil, I think, or somewhere in South America.
Team America South, the East, the Marvel Rivals World Cup.
And they were really good. There's a lot of players in that region that just don't get to experience the game to the fullest as much as everybody else. And this isn't just South America. There's many regions in the world that don't get to have that like same treatment that everybody else does with, like, be it in NA, EU, whatever. I feel like the optimization thing is also kind of holding a lot of players in those regions back, like you said. And there's a large amount of people that down there that want to play this game and they can't, or they have to play it in a way that's very compromised. And a lot of that was because, well, configs were a way for them to bypass that, right? Them playing the game in like a completely lower setting than what the game even has to offer. That was their way to play the game. And now they kind of can't. And I thought that NetEase by this point would have had an optimization patch. And it's just, I feel for them a lot,
I mean, I guess where do you fall on it, Uni? Like, obviously, I don't think you're like EG. He's like, get your bread up. But
I'm like I'm definitely like, my PC can obviously handle it and stuff. But I think it is really disheartening when you can't play a game that you really like because of how, it is. And then you try to work around that with what you have. You try to adapt so you can save money. And, there's these people that are abusing those features. And since they're abusing those features, it just feels really unfair that, you get that ability taken away. So, I mean, like, anytime there's any type of advantage, there's always going to be people that are going to take advantage of it to the fullest. And it's just like I said, just really disheartening that since they're trying to do that for a competitive, advantage, that people that can't afford it, whether that be in another country, with their currency or just in general, like, it's just really sad. And that's the debate, right? Like that's what people are saying, oh, should configs and because there's two sides of it. There's people that are taking advantage of it, and then there's people that actually need it to even play the game. Yeah, and then they're banning configs. I don't know if y'all saw, but Pick and Roll's main account actually got banned.
Oh,
because
I did
of
not.
configs.
Oh, I didn't.
But he
see.
said, I think he said he might not have configs, but like banning people's accounts because they can't afford. Like it's just like
we're banning for the wrong thing. I don't even get me started
I was
on
about
this
to say.
goddamn report. Don't even get me started. Don't even.
Go ahead.
No, bro. I don't even because we talked about it last week.
Man.
This fucking report system for Marvel Rivals is
it's
hands down the most ineffective bullshit I have ever seen in my life. I fucking documented 2 separate players that I ran it. Oh no. I'm so
you know what's really bad though? You know what's really bad when I'm like scrolling on TikTok and then people have a list of these throwers. They're like, oh, this person throws. This person throws.
Yes.
And it's like, and I'm just like, the fact that we're even making lists and even mentioning these people because they do not get banned is insane to me. And then I remember I got a message saying, oh, this person's banned until like next year. And then I'm talking to one of my friends and he's like, oh yeah, I played with that guy yesterday. Like he was in my game yesterday. And I'm like, so they're lying? Like, so they're lying.
I have no
I don't
clue.
know.
I have no clue.
Like, I don't know if they're lying or if it's like a misinterpretation, but it's just like they get away with it. I think, like, I don't know. Like, it's really annoying. Now I don't really get any messages now though.
I haven't gotten anything. I mean, we're all at an elo where we see the same people. Like I know for a fact. I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's online. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this person's online.
Like pre-avoid.
Yep.
Go to different players. Like, yes, you're here. Avoid.
I looked through and like we've ran into the same people. I don't understand this reporting system. I like genuinely don't anymore. I've given up.
Yeah.
Like I still report people, obviously, like for shit. Like the only thing this report system does well is identifying like verbally abusive or like slur language. Like I've had people like slur me out, N-word and stuff like that, and I tell them like I'm just gonna like mute you or I'm gonna report you, and like they do get com banned. Like the com bans are the only things that work because I think it's like they use some sort of AI, like whatever voice thing.
Most of it is volume detection, by the way.
Oh yeah, I've gotten com banned for yelling.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
so sometimes I'll get if you curse plus yell, it'll count it as like a warning. It'll flag your account.
It'll warn
like,
you. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I've never said anything to somebody besides calling them ass or like just bad at the game or just fucking terrible in this game. Like I've never called somebody like anything crazy, right? Like. But I've been like, let's fucking go, guys, like yelling, and like it'll be like, hey, we detected some abusive language in your game. I'm like,
I said good shit one time, and next thing you know, I was muted for the next 30 minutes. I'm like, all right,
I've never got muted though.
I guess I'll hold off on words of encouragement.
Yeah.
Oh, Egylou knows I've been muted. I'd be like, man, these guys are fucking like these guys are ass, and then I'm doing with like Egylou and Ruik. So I'm like, yo, I'm com banned. Like you gotta call me on Discord.
This guy Shivy was arguing with this guy for like 5 minutes straight, and he's like getting to the point, and he's like, oh, your dad came home and drunk and beat you with whatever, and like he's just going crazy on this guy, and then he gets com banned. I'm like, damn, bro. Now I gotta pick up the mantle, man. Now I gotta just keep going.
Yeah. No, fuck that guy. He was being a dickhead, bro. You remember that game?
I don't even remember it.
Yeah, that guy.
To be honest,
I'm very curious. I was just gonna say, I was curious if Rivals does like, because it's probably some AI thing, like you said, Shibi, but it's like, what if like you're playing in an ANA server? I wonder if it's like universal, like it doesn't matter what language you're speaking, you're automatically gonna get banned.
Oh,
or if
God
it's,
forbid
like,
you're black. God
on
forbid
a per
you're black
server
and you play
basis.
this game. God forbid. You say the N-word, like just like that. Dude, so many, I know so many black creators that have been com banned for saying the N-word. Like their version, right? Not the hard R, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I remember I saw that TikTok where he's like, "Oh my god, he was like, oh, it's another like black guy, like let's go." And then he said, the N-word, and then he was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get muted." And then the other guy said it, and then the other guy said it, and they both got muted. They both got muted. So yeah, it's just like if you say it, it's like an auto detective type
No,
of
it's
thing.
for sure. Yeah. Okay, but back to me flaming the reporting system. Yeah, it's garbage. Like I genuinely.
Can I know? Not to cut you off, Shibby. Can I
Go,
know
go.
what happened to the auto detection system where you just ban, like the system just recognized that you are throwing, you're being an ass, and they banned you. I remember they talked about it so much. They put out a whole freaking tweet.
They put out a tweet and everything.
And the whole everything.
Yeah.
And we were over here like idiots jumping for joy because we sat there and we believed them. We believed them, and then on top of that, I'm seeing Kirkcast. He put his wife to play the game. He gets banned because his wife is playing Jeff and like essentially throwing because she doesn't know any better, right? She doesn't know how to play the game,
God.
and he gets banned. I'm like, oh my gosh, they actually implemented this, and it just went away. Like, what happened to it?
Yeah, I made a post about that. I was like, guys, they finally did something about throwing, and I show a clip of like a Spider-Man like basically being AFK spawn. I don't know like. If it's
I think they detect AFKs, but I think
I think maybe
their
AFK.
system can't detect like soft throwing or like even hard, like low-key hard throwing, like where they're just flying in and they're like AFK for a little bit. Because I had videos, I literally have video proof of people doing that. I think their detection system isn't complicated enough to detect when people are like kind of soft throwing. I guess the term I know call it is soft throwing, where like they're just flying in, they have like 20 deaths, 8 kills, they're like AFKing typing. But like at that point, that's where like your manual report system. If me and my whole team report this one dude, and then it's like I don't understand. Bro,
I will literally do it for free labor. You already know how that country likes their free labor. I will do it for free. God. Where if they opened up a position, I will sit here all day long and just watch the reports come in and manually review them, and I will personally smite each and every single one of them.
That's passion right there.
Bro wants to be on the council.
He's doing it for free.
I would literally do it for $0.
You gotta pay me.
No. I'll do it for the love of the game. I'll clean up the streets one by one. I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm not letting people control this.
Watch the clean up the streets. Yo. We have a fallen comrade who tried to clean up the streets. Whoa.
Bro,
hold on.
Who?
I'm not gonna say.
Even I know.
I see.
Watch out! Don't say cleaning the street. We're not. Don't worry.
With the help of NetEase Games,
with the help of NetEase, go on.
Yeah,
we love NetEase.
We love NetEase.
Amazing.
No, on a real note, though, like
yes,
that is ignite the battle. That is like one of the most frustrating things. And if like I wish MarvelRivals or NetEase would really strategize and bring their creators in on board, right? And be like, hey, they kind of did it, but they didn't do it. Your report.
Don't talk about it.
I know. I'm saying, but like hypothetically, if you report somebody, we will actually look at it and take action, because at the end of the day, we control. And I say we. I don't have any emotion, but I'm talking about certain people. But we control the narrative of the game, right? We control the narrative and say like this game is the greatest, this game is ass, this game is whatever, and then we'll have all these followers and people who watch the content echo that and parrot it and just spread it out. So that creates how the game looks. So if we're all just sitting here complaining and bitching about people throwing and this being the worst whatever, and this not working, and the configs, people cheating, blah 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 blah, that's what everybody's gonna think, even though it might be a small majority of the people. But
or a vocal minority. I mean, but like you talk to anybody, I'm pretty sure 90% of the player base, whether it's console or PC, they've run into people that have just like straight up tossed their game. Look, it's bad in Celestial, like in the ranks that we are, like Celestial and Eternity. I cannot imagine gold. Like I genuinely cannot imagine platinum rank. That sounds like super hell.
I have a nephew that plays this game, and he's gold. Sometimes I play with him on an alt account. He's a younger nephew. And whenever I play with him, dude, the people in those ranks, and it's kind of true. They have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
So
I
they
mean,
will do
yeah.
anything. And out of spite, they will just be like, oh, okay, you wanna criticize my gameplay for being 0-15? All right, guess I'm gonna start jumping off a cliff multiple times. And it's like, oosh, like it's wild down there. Is all I'm gonna say.
It's the wild.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
like
they just DC, like they don't care.
Yeah,
You know,
they
they'll
just quit.
DC and be like, I'm done. I'm gonna go to play something else or something.
dude, they just leave. Like it's like gold.
Yeah, literally.
Like I think like bronze through diamond, I would argue is like probably everybody that like, like has a job, probably has like a family, or like they go to school or something like that. Right? They play it casually and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna queue up. If I win, I win. Oh, I don't like what they're saying or I don't like what they're doing. Fuck it, I'm just gonna go play some other game on my console. Like they don't, because they'll wait out the ban. Because this is my other issue. The bans don't fucking mean anything. You're getting banned for a day, bro. Like that doesn't dude, and it's crazy. I said in my video, I was like, okay, first offense, 2 weeks. Second offense, month. Third offense, just get them gone. Get them the fuck out the game, like completely. Because like they're actively harming your player base. Nobody wants to play a game if you're, or not your community, but like the stigma around your game is people are super toxic. People throw, they don't give a fuck. Like I don't know what language I gotta speak to NetEase. Like if I was like, hey, you're losing
Mandarin,
money.
probably.
No, but like you know what I mean, right? Like it's money. Like I have to speak in money or some shit where it's like, dude, you guys are losing players because people think this game is full of throwers. People think. Do you know how hard it was for League of Legends to like break the stigma of like the super toxic, like super throw, like everybody throws, nobody cares. It's still like that. Like people still believe that to this day, even though for the past 3 years or 2 years, they've like completely upgraded their systems. There's like virtually no smurfing. There's virtually like if you throw, you get banned. Like you get put into quick play. You get put in like prison asylum queue. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
you
just
come
not
from
there's not
DBD,
enough.
right? The stigma there, that stigma is never going to get broken.
What, being toxic?
Yeah, like just the toxic community and like people.
Oh, it's always gonna be there.
Yeah, like it's hard to break those stigmas in my opinion. So unless you
There's just not enough consequences.
Yeah.
There's not enough consequences for some, like even if you do get banned, you're banned for 15-20 minutes, bro. I'm gonna go take a shit and come back and I'll be ready to fucking play.
God.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not enough. Like Valorant, dudes were scared to talk shit. Like not me, because I never really even like said anything crazy. And the one time I did, I got banned for a week. I was like, yo, I'm appealed. I think I talked about it last time. I appealed the thing, and they sent me back my entire log of what I said. They're like, see, this is unacceptable behavior. Matter of fact, one of the new seasons of Valorant, a few months ago, or whenever they rolled out like their new like face, like update, like major update, they make you sign what they call a community pact, right? Basically, hold yourself accountable. It sounds like the dumbest shit ever, right? But it's like basically saying, here are the rules. Please, you cannot play the game if you don't hit check and sign it. You could leave the game and you could just not play the game at all, or you could click this box, agree to the community pack saying that you're going to be a positive person, you're not going to be mean, you're not going to bully anybody. You sign it and then you can play the game. If you are found to violate that community pact, you will just get banned. That's really what it is, right? If you get reported enough times, you'll just get banned off the game. And not only just banned, they will IP ban, hardware ban you. There's actual Riot does not play. I don't know what NetEase is doing, to be honest. Like, do you want people to continue throwing your game? Do they think that drama and negativity pushes the game? Does it a little bit? Yes, it does, because there's always something going on. This person's talking about this person. This game. This part of the game is hated, but you're still talking about MarvelRivals. Sure, it helps a little bit, but you don't want the stigma, the narrative about your entire game to be just negativity and just like throwers and all that stuff, because they're doing all these $300,000 tournaments to get people to play the game, and they'll hop on for the first 10 games and they'll quickly realize that motherfuckers just don't care, and they'll just leave. They'll throw your shit, they'll smurf, they'll do everything. And like at the end of the day, yeah, you got that person on the game for a little bit and it counts as a number, but what is the long-term goal for you as a company and for the game as a whole, right? Because if they want to be here for a long time, they need to clean up the streets now, right? And set the precedent, because if you if you want to go for 7, 8, 9, 10 years like League, you have to clean up the streets at one point. You have to do a mass ban, just like all the toxic people. Just you're done playing the game. Go like play in fucking Singapore or something if you want to play the game again or something like you know what I mean?
You just send them to fucking Singapore.
Yeah, if you want to play the game, you can't play within your state lines. Go play it in
You gotta server
Pennsylvania.
hop. You gotta go. Yeah. No, you're right though, because like if they don't clean it up early, like now, like we're talking about now, it's gonna be a bigger problem. It's gonna be allowed to fester. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
man.
I wonder, because I mean, Valorant and League, they were toxic for a while, a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure about Valorant, but they were toxic for a while. But I wonder what made them turn around and be like, you know what, we're gonna clean this up.
It was
Like,
content creators.
I wonder
It was
what
content
happened.
creators. Like everybody
the content
started complaining.
creators?
I can't speak on the Valorant side because I wasn't like that tapped in. I can speak on the
Yeah.
League side though. Because I was a League caster before and I used to play the game a lot. The stigma around League of Legends and what the content creators, high elo, like they have a lot of influence. If they say something, kind of like Rivals to an extent, where like if they say something, it'll get parroted down. But like, if a League of Legends content creator says something and it's not true, the community will like be like, "You're a fucking idiot, right? Like you're dumb, you're stupid, blah 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 blah." But they say something like this, where like the game is super toxic, nobody gets punished for throwing, nobody gets punished for this, blah 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 blah, and everybody can resonate with that decision. Like, to an extent, I would say Riot Games is way more in tune on that side of like community feedback when it comes to punishment and how the game is perceived. Like MarvelRivals, in my opinion, is the best community team where like they are in tune with all the memes, they understand everything, like they're very good at listening, but it's also like hard to implement, right? Like the implementation of that kind of stuff. And I kind of give them a little bit of grace because it's a dev team and not everybody's working on the same stuff, but like we've had the same complaints for like a year now, right? I'll give you grace on the first 6 months because the game is just launched. Your systems are getting older. You're getting data. Game's been out for a year and a half. We haven't done anything about the reporting system. Like, eventually it's going to hit a breaking point and a boiling point. And I think less people are going to give grace to Marvel Rivals because A, Overwatch is out. Like, there's other alternatives. GTA 6 is coming out. Like, that's going to fucking half Marvel Rivals player base. Like, that. Like, every game's going to get killed by like 30-40% player base wise. Sure, some people will come back after GTA 6 is like done and it's run its course. And if you're not into like the RP stuff, then you're not into it. But when it launches, like that's why you got to build that foundation and that base now, because your core player base, if they're unhappy, and like you said, you talked about it a while ago, Uni, like the casual and competitive. I think there's a middle ground, which is where most of the player base kind of falls into, the casual competitive people, where it's like people that play ranked that are like gold to GM or silver to GM. They care about the game, and they're the ones who spend money on the game. They're the ones who play, and like they're the ones you're worried about losing. I'm not worried about losing. If I'm NetEase, me, you, Egylou, Nenn, like these, because there's always going to be content creators coming into the space. What I'm worried about is losing that casual competitive, because the casual players, like the real casual ones that are tourists, they come and go. They play it when the hero releases and they leave. They play when the new hero. Oh, Thanos coming in. I'm gonna play and leave. But it's that like 80% of player base that plays the game, that spends money, that spends time. If they're pissed and their voices and needs aren't met, you're cooked. And I think that's what the reporting system. So I went on a super long rant, but yeah.
No, you're fine. I mean, I'm sure we had other games. You know how Marvel Rivals is our main game. I'm sure we had other games where I played TF2 and I got a hacker once and I'm like, I'm never playing this game again. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you know, like I'm just like, there's just like little instances. I'm just like that. I really didn't like that. And I just never come back. And, you know, with Rivals, you know, that's definitely a thing. Like, I'm sure I think a lot of people in my chat are like, oh, like I literally like my last game before I took a break, I had like this throwing player and he just would not like listen to me.
They leave.
Yeah. And then he's like, I haven't been playing for months, but new hero came out. So he's back.
Yeah. That's like a piece of candy, bro. Like, it's like they serve you a plate of shit and then they're like, well, actually, here's cheesecake in like a month. So if you like cheesecake, come back. Like,
yeah. And they have a really big advantage. They have a big advantage too, because it's Marvel. It's Marvel. You know, there's so many, and then the movies come out. Like, you know, they have a lot to work with. And people are just like, why isn't Thanos in the game yet? I'm like, they're gonna use Thanos when the numbers are really low or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm honestly so surprised that they even released Deadpool so early. I really didn't expect them to release a character like that so early.
I think that's like the big prolific hero, right? Like if you look at like the stuff beforehand, like people like X-Men, but like everybody knows Deadpool. They kind of timed it a little bit, like post Deadpool Wolverine. So like they kind of did that where they released the Wolverine skin
Yeah.
as well. So and it's all like marketing based. Like obviously Doom's gonna come out during Doomsday and it's gonna be post GTA 6. I don't know.
Oh, that's
I don't
gonna be
know.
huge.
Yeah, it reporting system. All right. Okay, for everybody now we get to talk about drama. I know everybody loves drama. We get to talk about
Ooh,
yeah.
yay.
For everyone that where's the drama? I like saving the drama for last. I know some people kind of front load it. It's whatever. I'm gonna label it drama in the timestamps. A lot of stuff happened in the past 2 weeks. The first thing I want to talk about and I'm gonna go to you, Nenn, first. The Storm skin stuff, because that was probably the biggest stuff that happened. I have my thoughts on it. I've put my thoughts out on it. I think they did a good job reacting, but my overall opinion is that they need to not just like show now, but they need to double down in the future, right? With like Black Panther, Blade. I mean, it just not even just like, African American characters or African, but like also POCs. Now they have, Hood in the game. They've got all these other, ethnicities. Where do you kind of land on the whole Storm skin stuff? My opinion was like, I think it's correct that like that's fucked up that Storm is the only non-legendary and there's all these other things. But I also didn't agree with like hate brigading the Discord and calling the devs racist and stuff. I was like, wait, whoa.
Yeah.
It's not just one person, guys. Like you can't just I think there's multiple sides. I think overall it was a net benefit, but we gotta go about a better way as a community to enact change, I think is my overall sentiment. I think it is fucked up though. Like I was very forward on like, why is she not getting a legend? Like, what are we doing, bro? You couldn't put a little bit more time? But I want to hear your thoughts, Nenn.
So yeah, I do think that whole situation from the side of the player base, or at least the player base that are online specifically, right? I think that's important to emphasize here, right? The people that are online, be it Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, whatever, those players specifically. I think it did get blown out way out of proportion to the point where I don't think NetEase did that with intention. So I do think the online player base did overreact with that. But at the same time, it's kind of a failure on NetEase's part for not having sort of the force. You can't predict how your player base is going to react, right? Like, but it's kind of your job as developers, right? As game developers making a product for consumers to consume, to know, how your consumers are going to react to certain things for the little things too. Like, again, like making Storm's thing not a legendary or whatever it was before. It was like a tier below. I think that was a failure on their part. It is a little when people do line up the quote breadcrumbs for that whole situation of like, oh, they did this and they did that, so this also looks really bad. It can look really bad, right? And so I don't really blame anybody who isn't too in the know about the situation to think that NetEase is is racist or something like that. But to go on and like harass the devs and like make these false accusations just based on what they've seen on Twitter, TikTok, because as we all know, as like creators who are constantly online, right, things get just blown out of proportion for anything, right? Like the truth is always twisted, and in this case, no one knew the truth of what happened at all, so people just made up their own truths. And for Danny Koo, man, he got a lot of hate that he shouldn't have gotten,
people are on him. People are on him.
I will, regardless of what people say and this and that, Danny Koo is somebody, and this isn't me trying to be like, oh, hashtag ignite the battle or anything. No, legitimately, I think from a player to like having like that liaison of like a sort of leeway communication to the devs, or that avenue to communicate with the devs, Danny Koo, I think, is actually very outspoken on Twitter. Like he's always like, every time I see his like he makes a post or somebody makes some art post, he's always commenting. He's always just talking to people. Like he's literally like just he's a normal human. Like he's a normal human being. Like he's just talking like a normal guy. Like making conversation and stuff like that. So I think that's another thing that people gotta remember is that these devs, dude, they're people. You know what I mean? Like yes, NetEase, giant $1 billion company, whatever, but they're still people that are making this game, right? Like it's not just being pumped out by a factory or something like that. And I don't know. I feel like the reaction from the community was it's a little hard because I understand, like, oh, okay, like Storm is kind of getting shafted, and like some people may think that there's a little bit of bias towards certain skin colors and stuff and whatnot. Because I feel like I don't, I can't speak, for anybody with like a skin tone like that. So it's like I
Yeah.
can see how some people think like that, because it's like in the past, we all know like there is prejudice, right? Like
Yeah,
no one here is
100%.
denying it. In their
Mhm.
real day-to-day lives. And some companies do show it. Like I'm not gonna point any fingers on which companies were definitely doing some weird prejudice stuff. Let's just say that they are currently another hero shooter. But yeah, no, I don't blame people for acting like that. But at the same time, it's like we gotta, let's just chill back, man. Danny Koo is not the
Danny Koo
person
is
to
not your
be.
lightning rod for hate.
Yeah, he is
can.
not the person to be
Yeah.
taking this on. But that's the problem with like, well, no, it kind of comes with this. I don't
Comes
want to
with the
say he
territory.
deserves it. No, yeah, it comes with
Yeah.
territory, pretty much. Is that like
Yeah.
when people think of Marvel Rivals, just the people that are in the know, like us, or just people that are online watching videos, when they think of Marvel Rivals, they think of like the faces of like Guang Guan, Jiyoung, and Danny Koo. That is what they associate with the game. So obviously, if they have any conspiracies or any gripes
Issues.
or anything,
Yeah.
they direct it towards them, right? And they
Yeah.
probably have no correlation with what happened, because another thing people forget is that these games are made by like hundreds of people, right? Multiple teams comprised of hundreds of people, right? It's not Guang Guang isn't sitting there approving every single thing. Like, okay, we're gonna shoehorn that. We're gonna throw this. We're gonna make storms an epic instead of legendary. No, like he's not doing that. Like there are a lot of other people in charge in different departments for different, sections of the game that are in charge of doing what's being pushed out. Be it like skins, maps, heroes, PVE stuff, all that other stuff. So to try to boil down everything into one singular individual via Danny Koo is just I don't like talking about it, because it grosses me out, honestly, with
Fair
how
enough.
much people were just saying the stuff about him. And ugh.
No. Egylou,
Mhm.
what's your? I mean, I get represented as like a POC, obviously. Like I get it. We don't really see people like us get the spotlight and all that kind of stuff. Where did you kind of land on it? Because I didn't really see you make a video on it or anything, at least from my knowledge.
Can I be honest? Is this a safe space to express an unpopular opinion, a
It's a safe-
nuanced take?
It's a safe
Let's
space.
see it.
Yes.
I think
I can't shield you from what's gonna happen afterwards.
Listen. It's okay. I think a lot of the outrage was actual performative outrage, man. Like that was
my god.
insane of what people
Okay.
were doing in that Discord, going as far as to call like rivals racist and all that stuff. I made a skit on it, right? I made a skit on it, kind of showing the overarching, like,
Yes, yes, I did. I did
what
see
the
that. Okay.
inside of, like, it's a very comedic skit. But my real opinion is like, yes, they did mess up. And it was mad weird that they made Storm specifically an epic and not a legendary, even though everybody in that's been getting swimsuit skins or summer skins and a legendary. That was weird.
It
And
definitely is.
it also was weird to see how they treat certain characters, right? Like, especially these black characters. I mentioned it in the video where it's like people think you're racist because you bring Blade in chains. You put Moon Girl in jail on her release, obviously, and you don't put her in the game like as a real playable character. You don't give the skins to Black Panther and Black Panther and Storm. Their wedding skin wasn't a legendary either. And it's just like you got all these other like white or fair skinned characters. They have their skins in the wedding skins, and it's legendary. And this one's like free. We'll give them this skin. So it all looks a certain type of way. But at the same time, there's people on the other side of it that are being like, do not conform to this. They're just babies. Blah 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 blah. And like at the same time, like you gotta still notice like what's happening and how, although it may or may not be intentional, you still have to address it, right? This is a game
Yeah.
for everybody, and Marvel itself as an IP should be. I mean, I'm sure they are, based on my experience of like how things run. Like everything basically has to be approved by the actual Marvel like IP, not NetEase. Like they should, like their whole like thesis is that anybody can be a superhero. Anybody can be, like you could have a superhero from like, you know, whatever random town that's this race. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's great representation. The entire like IP is built on that. So whenever I see people, or whenever I see Marvel Rivals, come out and like not give that adequate representation to certain characters, it's kind of weird. And like the good thing is that they're very reactive and they responded to it. But at the end of the day, what should be said, what is it going to look like going forward, right? Is it just this like one-time thing just because they had heat on them, or is it going to be
go damn?
Yeah, we don't want no here we go damn.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, for me personally, I actually don't care, right? I don't play Storm. I don't really keep up with, I barely buy skins, right? I only buy skins for people that I actually play. But I can see why people are upset about it. And that's just kind of where I land, where it's like, you know, you kind of have to do like your due diligence and perhaps team up with certain groups or groups of like minorities to understand when a character's releasing, hey, is this cool? Is this fine, right? Is it, don't just take, they have a very like on TV, you could tell like, for example, the way that they design Blade, right? You could tell like, okay, well, they see how Black American culture is, and they kind of try to adapt that without actually understanding the history and the nuance behind why Blade is dressed the way he is, or why he talks the way he talks, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I wish they could collaborate more with those types of players going forward, especially if you're gonna bring in, like, for example, Hood, which is like a Spanish representation, right? You have to like talk
Puerto Rican, right?
Yeah. So, you know, things like that. So that's just kind of where I land on.
Yeah. I just feel like since there was just like, it wasn't just one incident. That's what it is for me. It wasn't just like, oh, she didn't get it. It's like, well, there's a lot of other things that happened before that. And then it's just like, okay, this is like the last straw. Cause it's like, what the hell? Like, she's the only one that doesn't have a legendary. Like all these other, girl characters have legendaries, but she doesn't. And then I always kind of thought it was kind of crazy how she, or like, the Black characters didn't get disco skins. Cause I feel like disco culture is so like, with like,
that's another thing,
like that,
right? Like the Egyptian stuff too.
Yeah. Like, why is Punisher getting the Egyptian skin? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like a lot of little things that just don't really make sense, or like you're just like, it just feels like a certain way, because it's like they're going out their way not to give these character skins that I feel like would really fit their character. So, on top of all that, I mean, at some point people are gonna feel a certain way.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't blame people for coming to the conclusion based off of prior treatment. And I think that's the big thing. Like, you have the other side where it's like, oh, it's just a video game and it's this and it's that. It's like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, if that is your take, that it's just a video game, dog, like you do not understand like why representation matters. You do not understand why being seen and being appreciated and being valued, even in digital spaces and hypothetical spaces, is important to young people, right? Whether it's young Black people, young brown people, young Hispanic, you know what I mean? Like, what Asian people, right? Like all these kinds of different ethnicities, like being represented, and not just being represented in a way where it's like, here, you're the token. It's like deeply appreciating the culture. It's deeply integrating. Say what you want about Blizzard and Overwatch and their higher ups. They do a very good job integrating culture, right? When they take a character and they put all this stuff. They do. Apex Legends is another example. I think Apex does a fantastic job of like where they integrated like Filipino characters and they integrated characters, or like they had a trans character in their game. I think Valorant to a really good extent.
Valorant does it a lot,
right?
where they literally
Neon,
make a whole cinematic in the country. They reference certain things, so they do their research, right?
Yeah.
I feel like Rivals just kind of, all right, here you go. Y'all happy?
Sure.
All right, sounds good.
It feels it feels like, I don't want to, and this is like no discredit to the work these guys put in. It just doesn't feel as authentic. Is like the best word I can put it. It doesn't feel authentic, and like people can sniff that out. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, people of those cultures can sniff that out, and I think that's why we have such a divided reaction of like, "Oh, it's just a game, it doesn't matter." But then like you get the other side where it's like they're putting the pieces together, and now they're jumping to the conclusion that like these people are racist. Like, I can't vibe with that. I can't to an extent. Like, but I can 100% agree with the critique that like, hey, NetEase needs to do a better job in representing the ethnicities that they're profiting off of. That's like my kind of, and maybe that's like an unk take. I don't know, bro, but like that's how I feel.
No, it is.
Yeah,
you can't just throw a little salsa dance in and like that little salsa dance and a whip out here and there.
No, but there's a company, Bandai Namco, who does like Tekken, right? They do a fighting game, and that's all about diversity and like going into these certain characters' background.
I love Tekken.
Dude, these guys, granted, they don't work at the company anymore, but these guys, the producer and director, they would literally fly out to certain regions in the world. Yeah, they would fly out to certain regions, stay there for like a week or two, talk to the people, learn the culture, eat their food, do backgrounds, check with them of like, hey, we're making a character based on your region. Let us know, like, you know, what's the move? Like, what are the do's? What are the don'ts? Like,
what's the fighting style of your country?
Yeah,
like
the fighting style of the
like
country,
Eddie Gordo. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, the dialect, the accents, everything, and like, I feel like you guys brought up Valorant and all that stuff. It seems to me that in general, like games like this, where it's just kind of like very character specific, like I don't know how to call them, but it's like hero shooters and other shooters that are very all about the characters. They do their own research, dude. Like, and it shows.
Yeah.
And NetEase is like, you know, I love, you know, hashtag ignite the battle, but they're kind of slacking with that, and I wish they would put more emphasis on that and make that more of a celebration of the character itself, because it's like there's so many Marvel characters, right? Like just completely crazy characters, backgrounds, powers, but a lot of superheroes, right? A big part of them is where they come from, right? Like how their comeuppance, like where were they born? What was their culture? Who do they grow up or who do they grow up with around? And I feel like that is kind of missing with a lot of the, I guess, representation you get in Rivals. And this isn't just specific about like, you know, certain demographics or skin colors. It's just like, you know, like there are certain heroes that you don't really get. I don't know if I should. Nah, I won't bring it up. But there are certain characters in the roster that have vital, integral parts to their character in the comics. About their beliefs and their backgrounds that isn't really, you know, shown in Rivals. I don't know for what reason. I'm just gonna assume that it's nothing malicious, but when somebody notices that and they're like, hey, you know, like so and so doesn't have any mention of their background or this and that, then that means NetEase has got to be a racist or something like that. Then I kind of don't blame people for thinking that, and I think it's up to NetEase to avoid that sort of thinking from players by
to course
like,
correct,
hey,
right?
Yeah, like hey, we care and we want to show how cool these characters can be and where they come from and whatnot. But sorry to yap.
No, yeah, I think look, response from them. They were quick with it. They put out a statement. Like again, I'm happy to see that like our community enacted change and they were able to get what they wanted. But Rivals needs to double down. They need to double down. They need to double down. Like this, it's step one. Like you got to earn that good favor back, especially because of everything that's been happening. But that was the Stormskin stuff. More drama. We got more on the docket. You got something you need?
Can I say one more example?
Yeah. Go.
So there was an Iron Fist skin of him on a skateboard, right?
Yes.
And I remember Death and Gaming made a video, and he's a skateboarder. And he was like, this literally makes absolutely no sense. Like how he's on the board and his legs literally glitched out. Like if you look at his video and he paused it frame by frame, his legs, like literally it made no sense. So I don't think it's really like, oh, like it's like a race thing. I think they just make skins that look cute. And then they're just like, okay, like this will sell. But they don't really like think about like the culture of it or like the logic part of it. So I don't really think it's like a race thing. I think they just do whatever looks good. You know, because NetEase makes a lot of games where they make really cute outfits, like really nice stuff. But I don't think they ever really think about like the actual culture of it or the background of it. they just do what sells. So I don't really think it's like a race thing. I think it's just like they just look at, what looks good aesthetically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just wanted to say that because the skateboard. Because I mean, like
That
Iron
video is
Fist, the
hilarious.
skateboard-
That video is hilarious. By
when
the
he
way.
paused
Shout
it
out
and the
to-
legs were messed up, I was like, how did I not notice that? Like it was
He's
like
not even
so
writing
bad.
like goofy or like there's a whole
It-
Is that
Makes
still
no
in the
sense.
game? I gotta check it out.
Oh,
But
you just
I
did-
would suggest looking at his video because it's so quick, but he pauses it like frame by frame.
perfect.
And it's
He
insane.
calls him a
But yeah.
poser, right? He calls him a poser.
Yeah, I called a poser because he's like, oh, I know I skateboard. This Iron Fist is a poser, and then everyone in the comments is just like, oh, like, da. But I think, like I said, like I think that goes back to why they give these skins to these characters because they just think about what looks good. They don't really think
Yeah.
about like, does it fit the character, or does it make sense? Like they just want whatever looks good. So yeah,
Mhm.
we can go back to the drama. I just wanted to say
Drama.
that.
More drama. More drama. It's
Oh,
not done.
and sorry, Scooby, not to cut
Go.
you off one last time.
Go.
I think I think another thing that NetEase is like, yeah, they everything 100% with what was said is like, they kind of go with what they aesthetics. I just want to make this clear. If anybody from NetEase is watching this or happens to click upon this video or something, we've seen it time and time again, and should be brought this up with like Overwatch, dude. Representation sells more than people online would like to let you believe it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like if there's something, be it a skin, an emote, or something, and it's something that people can click with, they're gonna buy it. So that's a huge pot of gold.
Nen speaking in NetEase terms right now. Nen speaking
there's a huge pot of gold that they can dive in. Like, dive in.
my God, what
Whoa.
happened?
That's him, right? That's it. Okay.
Wait, Glogwog's coming out.
They got him.
Yo, they got Nen.
Oh my God. I thought
Yo,
that was
he's-
just me.
No, holy crap. I thought my shit went
He's
crazy.
being hacked.
Am I good?
No!
No,
Oh,
you're
no,
not
Nen, you gotta
good.
restart.
That's not good. Yo.
Yo, is that Ultron? Yo, Ultron
no.
got him. Ultron
It's the
got him.
fact that happened after he finished his statement.
Yeah. Pot of. Yeah. I bet. That's how I bet.
He's like, NetEase, if you're listening, and then it was over. It was over.
Okay.
Oh my
Then
God.
Once
The timing of
Nen,
that.
once Nen, I'll take a number 5 is crazy from chat, by the way.
Hola, mis
I'll take
compadres.
it
Am
number
I
5.
good now?
Oh, he's
or-
back.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh yeah, Ultron
my
virus fought out. Holy
They
shit!
brought me
What
back.
happened? What the fuck happened?
Something
Man, somebody
happened,
knocked on my
bro.
door and.
Oh, okay.
They
All
just
right,
wanted
there-
me to.
you were
Someone
saying?
got
Choke though.
That was Guangguan sending 4 black trucks to your crib.
NetEase
That's
agent
funny.
How long was I
came
like
in,
that
bro.
for?
Just like 5 seconds. Like it just like instantly happened. Like 5, 10 seconds.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point was
Yeah.
done. Anyways, so.
Okay.
That's what I said. I said the timing was crazy. You finished your statement and then it did it. I was like, what the hell?
They got him. They got him. They got the
got
NetEase
him.
agents got him. They just took. This is actually not Nen. This is like an AI replacement of Nen now. It's not even the real version.
Hello, I am Nev. Nice to meet you.
They yoinked my boy. All right. Okay. More drama. So shocking. I know. It's not just one thing. There's another drama that happened this week. I don't know how many of you are privy, or maybe you saw a little bit, you didn't see a little bit. I know, Nen, you're kind of disconnected sometimes. There was a recent tournament called, or I wouldn't say tournament, show match is the best way I can put it. It was PC versus console, or like controller versus keyboard and mouse is the way they put it, right? It was hosted by Sentry and FPS Flounder, I believe were the two. Sentry was representing the controller side, and FPS Flounder representing the PC side. And they were kind of talking about, how like console is up 2-0 or something like that, or 3-0. I forgot the score now. And like they're gonna run another tournament. They're gonna have like heavy hitters. They're gonna have they had heavy hitters. They had content creators, but they had content creators that also were just very good at the game. Like I think everybody on these teams, Eternity won above all peaks. Sentry's team, the keyboard, or sorry, not the keyboard team, the controller team, like Eternity won above all. FPS Flounder's team, Eternity won above all. They were all playing, and it was a best of 3. The tournament happened. It was really cool. I got to watch some of it. Egylou, I know you were supposed to commentate it, but you ended up, obviously, you were sick.
Yep.
Sentry had reached out to me. I was working, unfortunately, so I got to catch it while it was happening, like on my second monitor. I know Entei actually co-streamed it, or he was spectating it. And, or sorry, I think it was a best of 5, not a best of 3. Anyways, keyboard and mouse ended up taking it, or PC ended up taking it. They kind of, I'm gonna be honest, they kind of rinsed console a little bit. I think it was like a 3-1 after game 1, and like PC kind of like went on a tear. Console's team had some pretty big members. They had pick and roll, so like wasn't just nobodies, but pick and roll is obviously like a one above all player and everything. That's not the drama. The show match went fine. Like, it was really cool. Couple people got clowned down for their performance. Then you had a couple creators, Entei, and a couple people just talking about it. Entei, I think, said like some of the more inflammatory stuff we can say. Like, he called it the Dollar General or like great value PC versus console. Quad chimes in a comment section calling it like not the real PC versus console. It's something else. All that different stuff. And now there's like a hate wave to Flounder and Sentry. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe it's been amplified now, but they like Sentry was getting clowned on because he had a really bad performance. I guess what I want to talk about is, and we can start with you, Uni. What is the responsibility of MarvelRivals content creators in the sense of FPS Flounder making that video saying like we're spewing hate, the community's all about hate. They pulled up a video of like lottery pick spectating the Rivals Creator Classic that me and Egylou hosted a couple weeks ago, where they were like doing a hate watch party, which is like very normal, like happens on every tournament. It's like a building storylines, all that stuff, but also people dissing the PC versus console or the different community event, not accepting it as their own, all these different stuff. I personally, the opinion I hold is that like it's all content. It's you when you put yourself out on a platform, when you're a content creator like any of us. When we expose our ideas or we expose our gameplay, all this stuff, we are going to be exposed to criticism. And you kind of just got to hold that, unfortunately. Where is the responsibility? Where do you kind of feel on that of like, should guys like Quad, people like us or whoever, right? Like, where's the line? Is there a responsibility, or should they just be able to make whatever content they want? If they want to hate watch and do storylines, go ahead. Or is like Flounder and Sentry kind of getting in their feelings a little bit? Like, what do you kind of see on that one?
Well, I think when you're a MarvelRivals creator, there's always two sides. There's like your content and then there's your gameplay. And we've seen like, the past tournaments, like we can go back to the tournament I was in.
Yes.
Where, there was a team and, they have takes, which is their content, but then their gameplay was lacking. And since the gameplay was lacking, they lost credibility. Yeah. So when you're a content creator and you make content where you make points or you make judgments, you kind of do need to back up with your gameplay. Like, I feel like if I was like playing Thor and like, I wasn't really good at Thor, I would lose a lot of my credibility, because that's just like how it is. Like, we play like a game that's like kind of considered a competitive game. So it's like, that's like the balance of it, like, oh, you make content, but does your gameplay like back you up? Because, people see gameplay and they're like, okay, well, that just shows that you are good at the game. And if you're good at the game, you get respect, right? Like, you get some respect from that. And in terms of the hate watching and stuff, I mean, content creation, like, you put yourself out there. That's just part of life. Like, if you want to, do things, you have to put yourself out there. Embarrassing or, whatever it is. That's just the risk that you take. Like, like I make TikToks and then people respond to them and I'm just like, oh, God. But what is there to expect? You put yourself out there, that's just like what's going to happen to you. That's just what's going to happen. And in terms of the hate watching, I mean, some people like to make content like that. And it's just like, the thing is that when you make that type of content, you do have people that agree with you and stuff. But how loyal are those people to you, though?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I would
but you
also
get-
say the hate watching stuff as like, it's like gameplay related, right? Like we can talk about it. The example was like, I believe Antigro, like he was on a team. People were talking about like, oh, if I had Antigro on my team, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I think you're allowed to voice your opinion. I think you're allowed to voice your opinion on players. Like if you feel like,
but I don't understand. I don't understand why they were even hating on Antigro. I don't think
They did
Antigro was
good.
even a bad player.
Team Quad did good.
But I don't know where that like belief came from. Like I never
I think
thought
it's because he
Antigro
plays
was
Mr.
bad.
Fantastic and like he's got a weird hero pool and that kind of stuff.
He's a flex player.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line. I talked about it too on like Flounders. I mentioned a comment. I think it's okay to poke fun and like be like, oh yeah, this guy's assing out, or like this guy sucks. Like well, he's in a tournament. Like if you play in a tournament, I'm fundamentally, and I'm always gonna say this: if you play in a tournament, get ready to like have your gameplay under a microscope. As a caster,
No, for sure.
as a professional
sure.
caster, I have called out players in League of Legends and Marvel Rivals. Yo, this guy's not doing too good. I'm not going to say he's doing ass, because obviously there's like a level of decorum and professionalism that I as a caster have to have on broadcast.
Yeah, of course.
But if it's like a watch party kind of thing, a co-stream kind of vibe, that's the whole point. Like, you can have your unfiltered opinions and you can talk about players as long as you're talking about the gameplay, as long as you're talking about their hero pool gameplay. I'm not going to accept like, yeah, this guy's like XYZ, like, and none of them are doing that. They're not slurring each other out. They're talking about the player. They're talking about his hero pool and like what they would think. I think that's fair within reason. I just think sometimes, and this is like a common courtesy, some people do, some people don't, there should be some sort of pre-established relationship, or at least like the notion should be like, hey, it's all jokes. Like, anything I say here, it's jokes. Like, I don't hate this guy. I don't think he's a terrible person. And I think that's where you get content creators that can kind of not take it as jokes, and you got to kind of know who you can joke around with. Like, I can clown Egylou and he'll be fine because he'll know like I'm chilling. You know what I mean?
Well, because y'all know each other.
Yes.
But the thing is that when someone says, like, let's say for me, like, they're like, oh my God, you're so terrible at Thor. Like, you're terrible. You're a woman. You know what you do?
Well, that's toxic though, right?
You know what you do? You know what you do though? You show up and you fucking do what you do. Like, you know, like, you do what you do. You prove them wrong, and in turn, that makes you more content down the road because you just prove people wrong. So it's like it's kind of like something that you can benefit from depending on how you react to it. So I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, people love going for rooting the underdog. And if someone roasts, like, let's say Antigro made a video of them saying like, oh, he's done, terrible, and then he did pretty good in the tournament. Then it's just like, well, what can you say? Like, he did get in the tournament. Like, you proved them wrong. And in turn, that should get people to like you. And like I said, like, back to what I said, it's like, you make hate watching content, but then what kind of community do you have? Not a positive one. What's stopping them roasting you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's stopping them doing that?
Yeah, I think like Lottery probably understands that. Like, if he ever competes in a tournament, I mean, like, Lone
They're
Tough would
gonna
never
roast.
Yeah, exactly, right? And
because
I think
that's the community. That's the community you have. Like, with my community, it's like, oh, like, people that typically aren't good at tank get better at tank, and like, that's the positive aspect of it. And I feel like that's why my community is so positive. So it's just like, how do you want to shape your community? What kind of content do you want to make? And then as a creator, like you said, you're on the spotlight, but it really depends on how you react to it. Because in life, it's always about how you react to things. You could use it as a benefit, Yep.
I would like. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate example with Antigua because like he left content. But if I'm like Flounder or somebody, I'm clapping back going, yeah, well, you're fucking ass. Yeah. Bro. Like, I'm this rank. Let's run the wager. Like this, and that, right? Like, that's what I would be doing if I was in Flounder's position.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of weird to me that they talked about Antigro because, I mean, did they know that he was going to quit after the tournament?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about if they knew all
because
about it.
Because I don't know. Because that would be kind of mean because it's just like he's not going to make content anymore.
Yeah, he's not going to. Yeah, that seems like a cheap shot, like a free shot. Yeah, I'm not going to make assumptions.
I didn't even see the hate watch. So I don't even know like what they said. Like, I just saw like I was in it a little bit. That's all I saw.
mean, mind you, if you go through Lottery's VOD or like Lone Tough's VOD and everything, it wasn't just Antigro. Like they were hating on Covey, and they're boys, right? Like, they're friends. They're like, Covey do it as.
That's fine.
Ente's do it like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's fine.
It's evenly distributed. Like, that's what I'm cool with. Like, I think bullying is like a target selection of like this guy or this person only, but they're evenly distributing. And it's like jokes. It's like, I can understand because I come from an area and like my friend group, we roast the shit out of each other. Like, I understand that mentality, and maybe that's just like different in different areas. And I think there's
I do that
like
as
tolerance.
well. I do that as
exactly.
well. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Egylou, I kind of want to hear what you have to say. Like, the responsibility of content creators. Like, what do you kind of think?
Yes.
Calling it as someone that's hosted a tournament, how would you take it if somebody's like, man, this is just the fucking budget PGL. Bang.
I mean, yeah, like that, and that's why I kind of like more side with Flounder because like you put all this effort and time and energy into bringing something to life that's for fun for the community, that has complex storylines and all that stuff, and just for someone to come after you and slam dunk and be like, yeah, watch out, little bro, we got it from here, and like for me is different, right? Because like tournaments are happening almost like every other weekend or something like that, right? So
True,
like,
true.
but this console versus PC thing, that shit hasn't been spoken a word of since that whole like Gamer Keezy Mace situation, right? They brought it back to life just for them to take the spotlight and then dunk on them, right? And that's where I really don't agree with how Entei presented that in the video. I feel like it's kind of like, if I'm being honest, like a dickhead move of like, that's the
I should
Dollar
have watched
Tree.
the video. I should have watched it. Can
Yeah,
someone link it?
he said it was
I
the
got you.
Dollar Tree version
I'll look
of
for it.
this
I
console
got
and
you.
PC.
Mm.
And in theory, it is the Dollar Tree version, right? If you really look at it, because you have all these content creators with clout and whatever and viewership. But this version was more geared to skill, like who's really good, like and all that stuff. So Entei, instead of this, the problem, right? Stuff like this discourages the community from doing things with each other, right? And that's the whole thesis of what FPS Flounder was trying to get across, right?
Okay.
And it's just like,
I linked it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
incredibly
Yeah.
like disrespectful and discouraging to have these bigger guys, right? We all aspire to get to their level, right? To have their kind of motion. Just for them to look down on us, right? To look down on us and be like, yeah, you guys are just, we discount everything you do, and if it's not us, it's not real, right? And I cannot agree with that. This is a especially when it comes to content, this is a place for everybody to make content. If you make content and you get critiqued based off your content, that's a different story, right? I've stitched people's videos. I've said they were ass.
Okay, counterpoint is calling it a dollar store PC versus console not a critique of it, saying it doesn't have the gravitas of the event, it doesn't have the same stakes, it doesn't have X, Y, and Z. You could argue that's a critique. And you could argue that Quad saying this is not the real one because he was part of the, original one, right? Because like I think if you're Flounder and Sentry and you're gonna reference the score of PC versus console, and you're going to ride some of that momentum, or you're trying to revive some of that momentum, you kind of have that responsibility of like, hey, you got to ride that momentum. You got to kind of live up to that stuff. And if it doesn't have the stakes, it doesn't have the gravitas, the people that did compete in the last one, the people that, were talking about the last one, they have a right to their own opinion. So I kind of want to get your take on that then.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, right? It could be looked at as a critique, but at the same time, the verbiage that was used, it just, I cannot agree with that. The whole thing is right, you're calling it Dollar Tree, and inherently when you call something Dollar Tree or Great Value or whatever, you're calling it the knockoff, you're calling it not the real thing. And what I'm trying to say is Entei could have easily taken that storyline and incorporated it into the next one. He could have been like, okay, now that we've got this super competitive thing out the way, the content based one is still the one that we've got our eyes set at, or like,
because spun it a different way.
You could have spun it a different way that didn't come off as disrespectful, right? Because like I said, you put your heart, soul, energy, all this stuff. Like, should be. Imagine if we were doing the Rivals Creator Classic, and then someone, and then like Bosm comes out and be like, yeah, that one, that little tournament, man. Anyway, this is the one. This Bosm Creator Cup 3.
We gotta hold that. We gotta hold that. No offense, we gotta hold that.
But let's not take it. Let's not take that disrespect, because what we didn't do anything that wasn't on par of what Bosm did, right? Same thing with them. All they were missing was the viewership of it, right? But they still came out, and if you watch those games, they were fun to watch, right? They were still, it was still well organized. There was good storylines. It was just missing the instigation or the impromptu beef, right? Of like what's happening in that certain match with like Gamer Keezy, right? You can't replicate those moments. Those things just happen.
Yeah. Well, I would say this, right? And I think I'm going to reference what she said. It's how you react. So, like, I think Flounder unfortunately just took it the way of like, and it's you can argue that it's one type of way where it's like, oh, you're like not uplifting the community, blah 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 blah. Like, for example, if I was in Flounder's shoe, let's say like Entei came in, it's like, hey, this wasn't the Bosm one, this wasn't this, was that. you know what kind of person I am, and I know what kind of person you are. We would spin back and be like, "Oh, let's see you run a tour. How come you don't run anything? How come you ass out in this tour?" Like, you know what I mean?
I would have brought the numbers too. I would have been, hold on. Let's count the CCV of what we did. Let's look at all the views.
Yes.
I would have came out and been like, okay, this is exactly why we compare, or we're actually better than the bottom one. I don't think
I don't think we beat their CCV. No,
I don't think we've reached it, but I'm saying for the sake of content, I would have came out and like talked my shit, right? I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done what like Flounder did, where it's like, oh guys, that was really mean, and we should uplift the not call, like, at the same time, yes, you call it out. Like, what are you talking about? But at the same time, you come back and you're like, all right, boom.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
First of all, our team, well, he did mention in the video that controller
our
team
would wipe your shit. Yeah.
Would have the control team that lost to the PC team would have mopped whatever team was on the
Objectively
other
true.
team,
Objectively true.
Yeah. So it's like he did talking shit, but at the same time, we need to do a better job as content creators to be more inclusive, right? There's a lot of clicks, right? And like, I'm glad that I've surrounded myself with people who aren't clicky, right? For you, Shibby, Uni, Per Six, so all these guys, they're not like clicky. Yeah. Like, we could go out to somebody and be like, okay, we'll put ourselves out there, and if they don't want to collab, they don't want to do something, all right, cool, that's fine. That's their prerogative. But some people, I'm not gonna name names because I don't want to burn any bridges, right? And I'm cool. I'm generally cool with everybody.
Yeah.
But some people are very like, oh, you. Let me see your follower count real quick. Nah. Right? And it's just like, all right, like, am I a human to you first, or am I just pixels on the screen?
Am I just a TikTok page?
Yeah, like,
you're the numbers, apparently.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of clicky, like, people in the community, and I just, I mean, it's just bound to happen.
Aired me one time, bro, on Discord.
Listen, I took a break. I took like a whole break.
I'm just joking.
But I gotta say though, I feel like I'm not very clicky because I know how it feels to be out of the clique. You know what I mean?
Bro, you're a VTuber. Like, whoa. We can even, that's a whole nother can of worms, right? VTubers are super clicky. I know you know this.
But the thing is that I don't really like.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like the VTubing community.
I know, but I'm not really in the VTuber community. Like, if you ever look at my content, like TikTok and stuff, I never have my VTuber model because it's just like, this is just how I represent myself. Isn't it? Like, you know how VTubers are? Like, a lot of them are just like, this is like my persona. Like, this is who I am.
This is what I feel
like
comfortable streaming in. Yeah.
But they're like, they have a whole lore and stuff. Me, I just use this to like represent myself and stuff. So I'm not really like in the VTuber space. But like I said, I was in another space before, and I knew how it felt like to not be part of the clique. Because like I said, I've been streaming for like 3 years, and for those 2.5 years, like people would blow me off all the time. Like, I'm like, oh, can you help me? They'll be like, oh, I'll help you with something. I'm like, oh my god, really? Message them, completely blew me off.
Ghosted.
But but then they act like they're nice and stuff, but then their actions don't represent that. So I like know how it feels to like, being that clicky type of thing. And I feel like that's why I really like, like you guys and stuff, because I feel like we're not clicky, like we're very welcoming. But it does feel really bad to be out of it.
Yeah, I'm slamming
us. What the hell should be?
I'm joking.
But yeah,
I'm not clicky until if I make it though. You're not seeing me, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, I'm just kidding.
Over here feeling sweet. You're just like, once I get this, I'm out of here.
That's the thing about me is the thing about me is that like I'm gonna keep it real no matter how many followers I get or no matter how much money is in my bank account. I'm gonna keep it real because at the end of the day, if I'm not being me and I'm not being genuine and I'm like maneuvering away around the community in a way, I like people can smell that off of you. And I think despite my growth being kind of slow, I'm happy that I'm building a good foundation so that nobody can be like, Egylou's one fake ass motherfucker, right? Like at the end of the day, I'm not fake. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had my run-ins with people in the community, right? And I've told them, DM them, right? That's another important thing. I don't do all that. I'm gonna make a video and not talk to you about it. I always do. I'm gonna DM you because I don't like the way you did that. I had somebody air my DM, and then they hit me up for the Rivals Creator Classic. I'm like, buddy, let's scroll up. I DM'd you and you never responded to me. I'm not. I
Oh.
didn't really enjoy that. I didn't really like that. That's not the reason why you're not in it. But at the same time, come on, man. Like
That's
I didn't fuck with
crazy.
that. So but I keep it
Yeah.
real. Like I don't. You know, like being fake is not gonna get you anywhere. Like at some point, it's gonna all the lies and all this shit's gonna catch up to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like anytime there's bad behavior, it will like eventually it will all come out. Like it will all come out. That's what I was
Oh
just
yeah.
saying, like with the community stuff, like the content stuff. Like I feel like it's really important, like what kind of content you put out and have that strong foundation. Because they could just switch up on you. You know what I mean? Like easily. If you do
100%.
drama farming and all that stuff, like just the switch up's gonna be insane. And you do get attention, but how long is that attention gonna last?
Is it worth it? Right? Is like
Yeah, is it worth it? Like
Nen,
people
Nen-
come, people go. You
yeah,
know?
Nen, I kind of want to hear your opinion because, like I said, you're a little bit more disconnected. I feel like you're on the much more on the YouTube side, whereas like me, you, and I mean, we all do YouTube, but I feel like the kind of content we do and like YouTube communities, like I remember talking to Nen way back. He like stitched one of my videos, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's content is dope." I was like, "You should keep doing it. Like, just fucking do it." And I was like, I wanted to make the connection. I don't know, like, where do you kind of feel as like a content creator? What is your responsibility on like talking about subjects? Because I feel like there's a fine line. Like, I don't want people to police my content. I get real mad when people say, "Oh, you shouldn't talk about that," or like, "That's the wrong way to do it," or like, "You could have spun it different." It's like, go fuck yourself. You should have done it that way. No offense. No offense. Like if you are gonna come in and critique my content, let me see you go make a video. Let me see you go and like if you feel
True.
so strongly about that shit, go and make a video and see like if you're, you know what I mean? Like, why are you putting your expectations on me when ultimately I want to put out the content that I find, interesting or my opinion out there? I don't want to be so aggressive, but it does kind of piss me off sometimes where it's like, and I guess like people like Quad get this all the time where like people have an expectation of him because he's such a big content creator, and like when he doesn't act a certain way or like maybe he says something that rubs people the wrong way, they're very quick to go, "Oh, you have X follower count or you have this XYZ. You shouldn't be doing this." Like, who the fuck are you, man? Like, who are you to tell me I shouldn't be doing what I want to do based off of my, XYZ influence? Like, yeah, don't peddle drugs and like casino. Or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's a line, but like if it's criticism, if it's content, if it's Marvel Rivals, it's all content. I don't know. Sorry, I ranted a little bit. Nen, where do you kind of feel? Because like you get it on the YouTube side. I've seen both of our comment sections. They get mad when we talk about stuff or like they expect something from us.
Yeah. To initially first talk about like the tournament really quickly, the flounder stuff is I think banter between like players is totally fine, right? Like I feel like that comes with the territory of like you showcasing how good you are. But I feel like the moment you start to put down people or creators that are making community events and you start to make them feel like they don't have a place like they belong, that's kind of the fastest way to like sort of make the overall experience of making content for this game and thus making like, keeping a community for this game kind of miserable and a lot harder if the only way to find a community is to be watching, which I have no problem with, is to be watching Flats, Boger, J3, and that is it, right? Like no other in-betweens. Now in regards to like the content stuff, it's funny because I think it's been like, what, 10 months since I started doing it? 10, 11 months? I don't know. But initially, I went into this thinking like, okay, let me just talk about things that people are talking about, right? And I do kind of do that now, but my approach to that was very, I guess, inexperienced or something. And I still very much am. Like I'm only not even a year in, but I just more so was saying things to, how do I put this? It was more so to elicit like, I guess clicks. Yeah. To be honest, I was like, oh my
Nothing
god,
wrong with
I'm gonna
that.
put this.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and
Nothing
I'm
wrong
gonna
with
run
that.
with it. But then at some point, I was just like, nah. I don't want to bring it up, but it's something that I personally experienced. Something that I saw most likely, not really experienced it myself, but I saw someone get treated a certain way within the online space. Where I'm just like, man, by their own community, by the way. And I was like, man, I wouldn't want to put time, effort to cultivate a community of people that act this way. You know what I mean? So from then on, I started to change my approach with things, and I more so started to make content, because obviously, everybody here under our videos or streams, we get people that are like, oh no, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Oh, so no, I've learned to make the content that I want to make. Something it sounds a little narcissistic, where it's like, oh, I want to make something that I would personally want to watch myself. You know what I mean? Like, if I have a video idea in mind or something like that, and it's like, you know what, if I were a viewer, I would like to see that video, and then I just make it. You know what I mean? And for those who enjoy it, they enjoy it, and for those who don't, they don't, and I kind of just move on. Obviously, I take great appreciation to those who do enjoy it, and they're like, hey, we fuck with you, Nenn, and stuff like that. So it's like, to me, that means something. So I keep rolling with that. But in this content sort of game, specifically YouTube, because I can't speak for streaming or TikTok. It doesn't matter, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what kind of content you're making or how much you're growing. If the community you're cultivating is just something that you are not inherently okay with cultivating, like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's this disconnect between it. Your subscriber count will go up, but how much of those people really actually screw with you? You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier.
So
That's
it's very important to just, I don't know, like, just, I feel like people, not to rant, but I feel like people get so lost in the grind of content. Like, I gotta do this, gotta make these metrics for this month, gotta do blah, blah, blah. And I understand that, right? Like, I understand that some people have, financial things to take care of. So I completely understand that. But it's also like a double-edged sword, where it's like, if you're not too careful, right? If you're making so much hate videos or like rant videos or just videos talking about so-and-so, you're just going to bring the crowd of people that at the end, you're going to not realize that these people are actually with you, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a finicky thing. And it's something that I hope I've been course correcting since the, like, 10 months ago by now of my channel. I do make like little rant videos, but it's more so like on the, shits and giggles side, or just, I never personally attack anybody specifically. I don't use any derogatory terms. If I talk smack about somebody, I talk smack about them in the space of the game, right? Like, I don't, call them something or insult them.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's doing that though, right? I think this is just more it's kind of like, what side do you lean? It's like Marvel Rivals ultimately is like, we're all in the same community.
Yeah.
Should you have a responsibility as a creator to only create uplifting content in the community, or is it like, hey, everybody's gonna kind of do their own thing? And like, my issue is like, who are you to call out someone else making like hate watch content or rant content, or like calling other people, or like Egylou said to an extent, like little broing people? Like, unfortunately, man, like I don't know, maybe it's just kind of my mentality of like, you just gotta take that. Like, I've had people I had someone make a fucking Twitter video on me because I rocket ulted wrong. Like, that kind of shit, bro. Like, I just gotta take that. Like, I gotta take that, right? Like, that's
I think
part of streaming.
In regards to that. Yeah, I think in regards to that, where it's like, it's like you kind of just, obviously it's different person to person with how they take certain criticisms, or like what other creators are saying, or how other people are saying, like, hey, you should do this. And it's just like I said before, that's kind of what's helping me, regardless of like, occasional comments that I get. I don't get them as much anymore, which I'm shocked, which I'm happy about. Like, I get them here and there, but not as much as before. Like, way early on, there's people that are telling me like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, blah, blah, blah. You're never going to grow as a creator. And I'm just like, bro, like, take a step back, make your own YouTube channel. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Just make what you want. Like, honestly, like, make what you want. If obviously somebody's commenting like, oh my God, they don't like this. Well, okay. Like you it's almost like walking.
You can leave.
Yeah, like, you can leave. It's almost like walking into like, I don't know, like a fast food burger joint and complaining that there's no pizza or something like that. Right? It's just like, oh, okay, get out. Like, this is not what you're here for. So as long as people, and this is to anybody that is like looking to create content, or just no matter how big or small you are right now, just make what you want to make, right? Like, that's literally it. If you make what you want to make, and and it depends on the content, right? If you're going to be making positive type videos, go ahead. No one's stopping you. That's what you want. There's people out there that like that kind of content, and you're going to build a great following of people that are like-minded like you. If you want to make sort of, hate-ish, like kind of rage-baity, clickbaity content, go ahead. Just know the kind of territory you're going to come with, with that space. It's whatever. But I don't know. I think people should stay in their lanes. Other creators, right? I'm never going to critique another creator, right? Ever. Like, I'm not going to talk smack about the creator, because it's like what they're making and what they're providing for an audience is not what I'm doing. Like, it's not what I'm providing is not for their audience, nor is it for them as an individual. So apples and oranges, I suppose, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. When I make content, I like to think of like how the people that watch it are going to feel. Like, what do I want them to feel, or what do I want them to like, or, like, what are they going to say? That's what I like to do. Like, a lot of my content is like discussion post, and I want to hear what people have to say. Like, I try to keep it very objective. Like, I show both sides, like, what happened, and then why people are mad. And then, I kind of like play devil's advocate a little bit, because I want to like, there's a lot of emotions and stuff, and I just want to see what people have to say, because I know it's going to be like very mixed, And I love like discussions, because I feel like in Marvel Rivals, there's a lot of like, like gaming etiquettes, or like, just like little like manner things that people do. Like, I always remember that Iron Man ult, or like the Iron Man getting mad at the Cloak and Dagger for ulting. Like, I always think about that, because people are like roasting the Cloak and Dagger. Like, why is she ulting? But then I'm like, well, she got the point. So it's like, it's really not that bad. And it's like, when you react like that, how's that going to make her feel? Like, is she going to want to actually play the game, or is she just going to like, not play her best? Like, I like making discussion posts, and when I post, that's like what I want people to think about, and I want to hear like people's opinion. So I feel like posting something and thinking like, how's the person gonna watch feel? I feel like it's really, really important.
Yeah. No, I think that's definitely something to keep in mind. I think regardless of the type of content you make, I think that's something I think a lot more people should keep in mind, is like, what they put out, how is that going to make people feel, and stuff like that. Because it's like, you can put something out, you think it's like harmless or something, and then you get the opposite reaction that you were expecting, because I don't want to say it's like a case of being tone deaf, but there's a lot of people out there in the vast space of the internet that can think just like you, but also think very differently from you. So
like I said, people online take everything so literal. Like, like you say a joke, and then they just don't get the joke. Like, what I mean? Yeah. And, that just comes with like uploading stuff. Like, I posted a lot of things, and people reacted a way I didn't expect them to react to. And I'm just like, oh, they're literally taking it literally.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's like,
you say Magneto's the Cloak and Dagger of tanks, people at your throat, man. I don't know. That's crazy.
I don't know who would say that.
I mean, people
get
defensive. I'm not gonna say what people say about Thor, because I don't want to spread that.
You say some stuff. You say some stuff here and there. Hey, something. You're right though. All right. Okay. Closing remarks. Drama section done. Drama fiends. You can leave now if you want. Closing remarks. I guess. I don't know. Marvel Rivals. Egylou, we'll start with you. Where can we find you? What do you do? You're uploading YouTube long form content again?
Yes, sir. We're back on the grind. We're uploading some YouTube long form. We're still doing our rage bait, all that stuff on TikTok and short form, but we are now back on YouTube. I don't stream as much because, it doesn't really affect my growth. So we're gonna branch out into other areas, get that up first, and then we'll be back streaming soon. Yeah, man, ignite the battle, man. This game is great. And hopefully Marvel Rivals does tap in with the community and fixes the things that we want, because at the end of the day, all we want to do is play the game, make fun content on the game, and have an enjoyable experience. And as long as they can provide that, they'll have a long future ahead of them.
Nenn, I know you just released a YouTube video. When are you gonna stream, man? I'm dead ass. Everybody, people come to my comments saying, "Yo, can you make Nenn stream?" I'm like, "What the fuck you want me to do?" Like, I can't force it to stream.
No, it's just I feel
soon TM.
No, it's just I feel like with what I think I just like YouTube, the YouTube game a little bit more, because it's like I feel like streaming. I feel for sure, this is like a 100% thing, and you guys can tell me if this is true or not. But I feel like, regardless, like you can have like, let's say, I don't know, 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, but you have like 1,000 followers on Twitch. I feel like you definitely have more of a connection to those people that are on your Twitch streams. Like you're actually interacting with them in real time.
Yeah, they're
rather
checking
than
in.
YouTube comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, me personally, I feel like I'm missing that, right? Like I know my community, right? But I feel like there are certain times where it's just like I wish they knew me better, or I knew them better. And
Stream on
streaming
YouTube.
is, I mean, I
Stream
mean,
on YouTube.
but I feel like at the same time, no, yeah, I guess I can, because I was gonna say a lot of the
very happy.
space in Rivals specifically when it comes to like creators on YouTube, a lot of the creators on YouTube of Rivals, they're streamers, right? They're streamers first, and then they
Yes.
take VODs,
YouTube second,
and then
yeah. Well, I think
What was
your
that?
community will be very happy. They'll know that maybe you're convinced to stream on YouTube. You don't gotta stream on Twitch. Twitch is not the only streaming platform, gang. You can stream on YouTube, and YouTube people do numbers. If you have a good follower
They do.
base, like YouTube streaming is pretty solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I'll think. Yeah, it's something I'll definitely think about.
let 'em know.
But
I'll let them know.
yeah.
Uni,
Awesome.
let us know where we can find you. Is it iDrawYuni on everything? This is chance to plug.
Yes.
Go plug now.
Yes, I am on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube, YouTube Shorts. Like, I'm on Twitch. I stream pretty consistently. I haven't really been posting that much. I can't really, like I said, like the patch notes didn't really give me that much content, so I've been kind of slacking on the uploads a little bit. But yeah, I post everywhere. I literally post everywhere, like
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube.
Congrats on partner.
TikTok.
Congrats on partner. by the
Yes,
way.
yes,
Wow,
yes. I
congrats.
got partner last week, and I was like,
Nice.
"Oh my god!" Yeah, so I never thought I was gonna get that. So the fact that I got it, I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!" Thank you, Shibby. Thank you.
Of course.
But
of
yeah,
course.
I stream a lot. I stream a lot. Like right now, I stream a lot because, like I said, like I'm trying to going through a content drought at the moment. But I'm sure I'll get back right on it. But yeah, I stream a lot on Twitch.
What's your schedule if you have one? I feel like you're kind of pretty consistent, right? Like-
Yeah, it's like Sunday through Wednesday.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes,
You
and
guys
thank
gotta
y'all
get
so
better.
much for inviting me.
What time? Can you guys plug your content better?
Okay,
all three of you?
okay. So like 4:30, 5 p.m. Central,
Central. Okay.
Sunday through Wednesday.
And I upload videos when they're ready.
Yeah, that's. I know Egylou, you've been streaming, uploading more.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way to find out is if you really tap in with me, you know,
Okay.
and then you'll
All
be able to find out when I upload.
I don't gotta plug myself
Yes.
because you guys, everyone watching knows where you're at. So thank you guys so much. Uni, thank you so much for being a guest on this episode. Our longest
Of
episode to date, by the
course.
way. Our viewers are gonna
Really?
feed 2.5 hours is what I have it clocked in. Egylou, Nenn, thank you
Whoa.
so
Nice.
much. Spotify, for the last time, we are on Spotify. We go listen. I have put us on Spotify. Don't go in my comments. I'm gonna put the link in the description. This episode is gonna be out Wednesday on YouTube, Spotify. Obviously, thank you everybody for the live viewers that spent time here with us for the 2.5 hours. You guys are troopers. I love all of you. Thank you so much, and have a great night, day, evening, morning, wherever you are. Grab a drink, go to the bathroom, do what you need to do. But we're gone. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications, as that all helps me out a ton. I try and respond to every single one of the comments in my videos because I generally do appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to leave one, as well as I love interacting with my own community. If you want to see more of my content, I stream over on Twitch about 3 to 4 times a week, starting around 7 p.m. PST. Over there, you'll get unedited versions of my videos, as well as we go over gameplay reviews, patch notes, and you guys can ask questions in the chat, and I respond pretty quickly. If you care more for short form content, I upload daily on both YouTube Shorts and TikTok. Over there, you'll get condensed versions of my videos, as well as stream highlights and my general thoughts on the game. All of that will be in the description box below, as well as a pop-up that will show up on the right side of the screen here, telling you where to go and all my handles. I really do appreciate all of you, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.